we're here. Excellent. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mish. Hey, Wolf. Sin is here. Oh, Zero Dialect was so kind. Gifted subs to Blinky and Bro Gullet and Katie1W22 and Villain. Ah, cool. So, hey, Chev, you're the conductor of this train wreck. So why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. My name is Chev. So I am usually hanging out in the chats of various people who stream in the community or just chilling and hanging out with people in the various discords. But today I am going to be running a game in this system. So if you haven't heard of Delta Green before, it's based on the Call of Cthulhu role-playing system, which is kind of a like cosmic horror like role-playing system, and this system is very similar to that. So if you know that, you will be in familiar ground here. A lot of this system deals with how to be like encounters with the unknown, with the unnatural, but also how to like be a secret agent and leave no trace because people might be looking for you or there might be consequences for your actions. So I think I hope we're gonna have a really interesting game for you today. And we've got really great bunch of players, great bunch of characters. So let's go around and have people introduce themselves. Let's start with Warwick. Wait. Okay, it's opposite.
It's all good. It's all good. Hi. Is it just introduce ourselves or our character as well?
Both. Why not?
Cool. So yeah, my name is Warwick Zero. I normally Twitch on Twitch, on various days, and various socials. My character is Lieutenant Harry Primrose. I'm a Army Ranger, dual nationality, British and American. Hence the accent. And do you want to know the reason why I'm here, as in Delta Green, or will we get into that?
We can get into that during play.
Okay.
But that's me.
Cool. Maddie.
Oh, me. Yes, I am the Backwin. I stream on Twitch, or I Twitch on Twitch, whatever Warwick said. That kind of wordage. He's good with those. He's the king of words, as he's called many times. He
Lie.
I'm playing Dr. Barnabas Crodmeyer. He is a scientist of sorts who has been invited to this lovely place for reasons that I definitely didn't just really quickly skim read. And yeah, he's excited and nervous about everything.
Sounds good. SJ?
So I am Agent Nora Ryan for my character. She did a little bit of the Army and then went FBI. So she currently works with a Joint Terrorism Task Force, which work in small cells. But at one of those points, she encountered something a little boopy, supernatural. So now she's with Delta Green has her number now. I am SJ's sidekick. I don't stream. You can usually find me here playing different games, or the only one I've run so far is Spectrum Squad.
Oh, and me. Yeah, I'm Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael. You can find me here a couple times a week. Running games or sometimes playing them when people like SJ and Chev are nice enough to run. And then every Sunday over at the Juices TV program and Licity channels where we do all kinds of, goofy stuff. I am going to be playing Dr. Max Helkvist, allegedly, who is a scientist. He is a former researcher at DARPA, but he went corporate. So he is now currently an employee of the R&D division of Loop, which is a multinational conglomerate and the parent company of Syntech, a business here in Willow Bluff, Minnesota. And he is a perfectly normal, very nice guy nothing strange has ever happened to him.
Cool. Well, so let me see. So we can just get started then. So I want you to kind of imagine a high school locker room. It's got a couple different rows of red lockers. It's mostly empty. There's one student who is kind of crouched. His head is kind of stuck into his locker, and he's wearing football gear, fully kitted out for a game. And you can't. You're looking at him from the back. You can't really see what he's doing, but he straightens up from the locker. He slams it shut. He gives a couple runs in places, and he's looking really excited. He's kind of muttering to himself like, yeah, I can do this. I've got this. And we see him run out to the door to the side. Then a little bit later, we can see that the football game, there is a home football game right now at Willow Bluff, Willow Park School. This student is one of the starting line for the football team. It's the first play of the game, or not the first play of the game. It's early in the game in the first quarter. And we can see the camera is zooming high, kind of almost like a drone shot looking down. And we can see that the ball snaps, somebody catches it. The student that we were following before, he goes wide. The back of his shirt says Herman. And he goes wide, he's running, he catches the ball, and someone else from the other team tackles him right from behind. And he was running fast, very fast, like almost like track team sprinting fast. But somebody was luckily positioned, and they managed to get him. And he crumples to the ground, and he doesn't get up. And then slowly people start, crowding around him from his team, from the alternate team, and the trainer runs over. And we can see the camera kind of pans back, and we are looking at all of Willow Bluff from above. The camera turns, and there's a little bit of, kind of a haze. And we can see that there is a plane that is flying through the air. It's coming within a couple 100 miles of Willow Bluff. I don't know if it's probably not going directly to Willow Bluff. There wouldn't be an airport right there. So it's going to the nearest metropolitan spot.
Yeah. Twin Cities or Duluth, probably.
Yeah. Dr. Helgquist, you are on the plane. You have a window seat. You are
I'm flying
up.
commercial? How dare.
Yes. You are flying commercial. You were booked on a very rapidly booked flight. There have been several different transfers. They did not get you a direct flight. It was something that was arranged. This trip was arranged at the very drop of a hat. You received an email 2 days ago from someone that you had interacted with before, asking for you to asking your particular expertise on this mission. You are waking up from a dream as the plane is coming in towards a landing, and there's a glint. You're in a window seat from the horizon. It is almost like there's a doubleness to the glint that seems to be coming from, if you knew your geography, it looked like it might be coming from Willow Bluff. And it's kind of a half familiar one to you. What are you thinking about as you're flying into Willow Bluff? You've been summoned from your research activities on very short notice by an organization that you don't know a lot about.
I'm probably rather put out.
You are muted.
Am I? Mish, can you hear me? because I can
hear
me.
Zero.
Yeah,
I can
Yeah,
hear you.
I can hear Zero.
Yeah. So anyway,
Might be shit.
Max, I should say.
Oh, I cannot hear you.
There you go. We should fix that. Max
Did I
is
mute?
possibly.
Did I mute chat?
It's entirely possible. So Max is.
Can anyone else talk?
Yes.
Yes.
I can talk.
Yes.
I think
Can you
it's
hear
you,
us?
Chad.
Okay, that'll do it. Somehow, I think my cat might have stood on the camera or stood on
Yes.
the keyboard. And
Your cat
turned-
is like, nope, this is not happening. Pay attention to me and only
Where is
me.
Discord?
Cool. I'll wait for Chev to get.
There we
Next
go.
second.
There we go.
All right, cool. So Max is not a great traveler. I mean, he has traveled a lot in the past to some very uncomfortable places. But one of the reasons that he became a corporate researcher or a corporate employee was that he wouldn't have to dig around in deserts and stuff anymore, or the Arctic. So he's probably a little miffed that he had to leave the Mullerin Islands on such a short notice and come to Minnesota, but is very glad because it's nice and wintry here. It's a very similar kind of environment, and is really just looking forward to getting off the plane and I guess into a rental car and taking the 2-ish hours it'll take to drive north from the Twin Cities to get to Willow Bluff. He probably has been to Willow Bluff maybe once before. Maybe spent a couple of weeks there. But, you know, put out is how he feels.
Okay. So we leave Dr. Helquist with his thoughts as the plane comes in for a landing. Let me see. Lieutenant Primrose, you probably were the first one to arrive in Willow Bluff. You were probably the closest geographically. So you probably have been in Willow Bluff for a day or two. You have not met your handler yet, so you have, I assume, been, getting a cheap hotel, working out, doing whatever it is that Lieutenant Harry likes to do on his off time. But you do know that the other members of your team are, you know who they are, and you know that they are arriving in town today. Would you be going to pick up any of them from the airport?
I think I would be probably picking up Agent Nora, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Well, I'm not
So,
really too bad about scientists, sort of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So in that case, yeah, let's have that scene. That you, Agent Nora, you would not probably be on the same flight as Dr. Helquist. You probably came through a different routing, but you would be coming in at roughly the same time. So how does Agent Ryan deal with flight?
I don't mind flight at all. The only issue is the baggage, like dealing with all that through the airport and security, because obviously I have to have my stuff, and it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the most annoying part, is getting the equipment.
Mm-hmm. Did you yeah. So your equipment, yeah. So as the plane comes in to land, you see that you see the town of Willow Bluff, you see the Twin Cities, and you see the airport as you're coming in for a landing. Normal departure, flight time, and as you get off the plane and get through security, get your luggage back, you see that there is a figure that has a note card that has your name on it. So, Lieutenant Primrose, tell us about yourself.
So I'm Lieutenant Primrose. Obviously, I'm about 6'1", athletic figure. I'm 27 years old. standard cut hair, sort of like a blonde hair, bit of a beard, but a bit of stubble, but not too much. Yeah.
Okay. And Agent Ryan, what would other people see when they look at you?
Probably just dress comfortably for flight, like have the jacket on, some jeans, nothing too crazy because I can't be fully kitted out on a flight, obviously.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anything? Any conversation to have, or are you both just kind of greet each other and move on?
Oh, I'd be very curious about if he's heard anything, so I'd probably approach him. Which one are you?
What do you mean? Which one am I?
Well, you don't really look like one of the scientists, so I'm going to assume you're the lieutenant.
Yeah, no, you are correct. But yeah, I'm guessing you're Agent Ryan, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you didn't have as much trouble as I did getting your gear through.
Actually, it was quite easy. Actually, I didn't have any issues. I was quite lucky. But I thought, I know about sort of the group. I don't know anything more about that, but I saw your name on there, and I was like, fellow army. I thought I'd give you a ride there. Leave the scientists to themselves. I'm sure they can make their own way here.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, do you know anything about this? I'm guessing you're here. We're all here for a reason, but
Yeah, definitely not my normal line of work for sure. Not really my preferred line of work either, but duty calls,
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, and I think that's probably the end of my conversation. We just sort of carry on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
small talk on the way.
You two would like walk away from the camera, and we would like lose your audio as you're going away. Like, you're still chit chatting about like speculating about the mission and about what's going on. But we turn around and we see on the other side of the terminal, waiting for their bag from a completely different airline, is Dr. Barnabas. So Barnabas, tell us about yourself.
I am Dr. Barnabas Crodmeyer. I have worked at Black Mesa for quite some time, mostly laboratory work. I recently published a dissertation and some medical findings, coupled with some research from a colleague of mine about some sort of new HEV suit that we were developing. I have, my wild gray hair. And I have a lab coat. It's very lab helpful. I also brought a thing with me in case things get dangerous. It's for my protection.
So you were summoned on very short notice. Did that interfere with your like academic kind of responsibilities at all? Like how hard was it for you to get away and come on this mission?
It wasn't terribly difficult, but it was a hard thing to explain to those I work with and for. It took a little persuading to be able to leave and come out this way.
Okay. Do you think that Max and Barnabas would know each other by sight or personally?
No.
Unlikely.
Okay. See. So
I mean,
Barnabas.
it's possible that we could have attended the same conference, but
yes.
but we wouldn't know each other.
One person and a couple hundred people in a crowd. It's you're not going to remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, those conferences usually have thousands. Last one I attended.
Well, my areas of specialty are somewhat unusual, so our conferences tend to be a little bit smaller and more rarefied.
Yeah. Maybe they overlapped. Who knows?
Possible.
So I like to imagine that the two of you were having that conversation about like, I haven't seen you before, and you were trading some chit chat about responsibilities. It was probably easy to spot Dr. Barnabas and Dr. Helkvist for each other. Like it's probably not a lot of like academic people of your stripes coming into this airport right now. So
Oh, Max is dressed impeccably, tailored suit, light wool, maybe lighter than one would expect for the environment, but he's from Sweden, so he's fine. He looks very Wall Street.
okay.
I would say unless one of you has a dossier, it's unlikely that you would recognize him as a scientist.
Okay. So, Barnabas, would you have a name, have a poster asking for Dr. Helkvist, or would you be trying to hope to spot him by sight alone?
Well, I probably wouldn't carry too much on my person, aside from waiting for my bag at this carousel. So I'd probably just try to wait for somebody to approach me, and maybe that'll be them or not.
Okay. Max, are you looking around for anyone for Dr. Barnabas?
I don't know. I kind of had it in my head that he is not necessarily, like, probably has read that there are other people who are being called in, but at this point just wants to get off the plane and stretch his legs, and is probably just going to head over to the rent-a-car.
Okay.
Kind of just has he assumes he's traveling in his normal kind of corporate mode, so he's expecting someone to be there with a car. He should be checking in, so he's just kind of doing the rote thing. And then probably you probably hear a very lightly accented voice. What do you mean there's no car?
Yeah, we probably, like, the camera has been following both of you all, so the viewer would know, that Dr. Barnabas and Dr. Max, like, could have met up with each other, but you probably walk by each other several times. Like, Max is at the counter asking for a car and for, the people who would be waiting for him, and Dr. Codmeyer just, goes right by him looking for the taxis. And there's probably a moment where you actually end up getting into like the same, like, adjacent taxis without even realizing it, going to the same place. So you all have arrived in Willow Bluff. You all, so it's a short hop over to Willow Bluff. It's a couple hours drive. Lieutenant Harry and Agent Nora, you two, you're carpooling together. Max and Barnabas, you are traveling separately. You're making your way over there. Once you get into Willow Bluff, the only thing that you know is that you have a contact, your handler, that you are supposed to meet at a diner on the edge of town. You have a couple hours after your flight gets in before you are supposed to meet them there. So you have some time to either you can just wait it out, or if there's anywhere that you wanted to go and check out, it's up to you.
I will park the rental car in the underground parking at Syntech headquarters. Go in, badge in. Walk in and talk to the receptionist, expecting that someone to set up an office for me, and they haven't. And then, get that worked out. A bunch of emails back and forth. And then I will I very fondly recall the Swede and Sour Cafe, which is in downtown, very near, within easy walking distance. It is the only decent, one of the only decent restaurants in town. So I will probably post up over there and take advantage of the Wi-Fi to look at files, email signature stuff.
Okay. Nora and Harry, what do y'all do when you get to Willow Bluff?
I want to hotel and take a shower and then unpack my gear. and get it set up in the car. I assume that's also why I got picked up by the LT is he has the car we were basically requisitioned that's gonna have our stuff in it.
Yeah. So you were contacted by so you've had previous experience. Do you think that Agent Ryan has had experience with Delta Green specifically, or do you think that your experience is just with something unnatural that kind of put you on Delta Green's radar?
Probably had an incident, at least from the message I got of a couple years ago, had an incident that we thought it was just normal terrorism through the Joint Terrorism Task Force, and it ended up being a much larger situation of supernatural events. Like, maybe they were trying to summon something or whatever happened. And Delta Green handling that incident, I was already exposed to that kind of side of the world. So they said they would call me, and I figured, oh, maybe they'll never call me. And then now we're here. I'm getting a call.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you expected to be called so soon? Like, did you have an idea that the weird things that are out there would be cropping up enough that, just a couple years later, you might have been called back up by this organization that you kind of just know them as the people who deal with weird things?
Yeah, I hope not, because I'm not super down for it. I don't like that stuff. I can't shoot ghosts, I don't watch scary movies. I'm not into it. But, I have that sense of duty of like, okay, well, country needs me, world needs me. If this is what they need me to do, I'll do it. But I'm not super happy about it. So getting the call, I'm a little uneasy about it. I'm not really a big fan of doing that. I'm much more comfortable with your run-of-the-mill terrorist.
Okay. So getting into town, yes, you were able to requisition, or someone requisitioned for you, a car that you and Lieutenant Harry were able to drive over. You have rooms in the same hotel.
The only hotel.
Yeah,
Willow
the
Bluff
only
Inn.
hotel.
It's quite nice, though. It's a B&B. It's in a big old Victorian mansion. It's very spooky.
I don't like it already. It's already too creepy.
It's also across the street from the Dock House, which is about the only other restaurant in town. Probably the only one. I mean, unless you count the Gold Rush Bar and Grill.
I can tell you, I'm very hopeful that when we're meeting this contact at this diner, we can get food there as well. I'm hungry.
The Circle Q convenience store is right across the street. You get yourself some ho-hos
already. I mean, yeah, I might make a run to there just to get my snack stash going. Especially if this ends up being long ops, I want a snack stash. I'm not going to be on a stakeout without a snack stash.
Like a big 20-ounce monster and a bunch of junk food, Cheetos.
Oh yeah,
flamin' hot Doritos or whatever. Ugh.
Harry,
Yeah.
what's going through your mind as you're coming into town and coming up to this hotel?
Sort of looking back to sort of why I'm here, sort of going back to a mission with my platoon and trying to piece some sort of sense into what happened, where I lost a bunch of my fellow soldiers and friends to something that I just can't explain, which has been racking my brain for the last couple of years. I know that's why I'm here right now, but it's just trying to piece together what happened, why it happened, and try to stop what happened. And just every so often just sort of drift off and just sort of go thinking about that, reliving that moment over and over again.
Okay. So a couple hours go by. Eventually, one by one, you all trickle into the diner. So who do you think which one of you thinks that they would probably get there early?
I mean, if you're not early, you're late.
Okay. So Agent Nora is the first to arrive. Do you grab a booth or a table?
I also assume I would have been bugging LT to come with me. Like, we're gonna
Mm.
carpool there in the vehicle, so
Okay.
may as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So-
definitely a booth in the corner where I have a view of the door.
Okay. So Agent Ryan and Lieutenant Harry, or Lieutenant Primrose, they have the corner booth. You can order some food if you want, if you're hungry. Otherwise, the coffee, they have it. Water, they have it.
I think it'd just be a black coffee for me, I think. Wouldn't be that hungry at the moment, I think.
Still on
So, after a while, you see Dr. Barnabas and Dr. Max come into the diner. Would you two would probably have arrived separately?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dr. Barnabas, are you staying at the hotel, or were you able to, similar to Dr. Helkvist, did you have anyone in town that you could talk to try and get some local accommodations, or was it the hotel for you?
Oh, I stayed at the hotel. Accommodations were okay, not to my liking, but they were fun.
Okay.
It's very chintzy. As in,
It
there's
is very-
lots of chintz.
Yes.
Okay. So Dr. Barnabas arrives, and as you're walking in, you can see it's got the typical diner setup. It's got it's got the counter that's in the middle of the diner. It's got some booths and some tables off to the side. Every table has one of those little coin-operated jukeboxes on it. Thankfully, no one has stuck any quarters in and is playing any music. But you know that it's probably a matter of time. It's one of it's off-peak hours, so you pretty much have the place to yourself.
I feel like if someone walked to the jukebox or just given like a sort of just a dirty look, just looked at them and they just went sort of slowly back.
I put in a corner and play Smash Mouth.
Oh,
I just-
man.
I'm kidding.
How many quarters do you put in?
13. Wow.
So as you come in, you see that there are two kind of stiff and serious looking people at the corner table. And you know that Dr. Krotmeyer, that you are expecting to meet several people. You can pretty much presume that those are at least some of the people that you are going to meet.
Okay. So I guess I will just walk over there.
Okay. And Dr. Helkvist seems like the kind of person who, not even meaning anything wrong by it, but would probably end up arriving a bit late. Is that
Yeah.
true, or would you be the punctual type?
No, I have tons of things to do. But I did hop in a car and probably parked over in the St. Mary's parking lot, like a block away,
Okay.
and just come in with nice kind of camel overcoat.
Mhm.
Again, somewhat impeccably dressed, but it's snowy and stuff. It's that kind of melty, like it hasn't snowed in a while, so I've my shoes are maybe a little bit damp, but I'll come in and shake off the coat and then pull out my phone. Not commercially available yet, so it's not a folding phone so much as it is that it's a flexible display. So I pop it open, and then clearly I'm looking at some sort of display and then scanning around for the people, and they go, oh, and then snap it together, pop it back in the breast pocket, and make my way over to the table.
Almost as soon as you sit down, you see that there is someone walks out of the kitchen, and it's someone that Nora and Harry, you've been here for a while. You never saw this person go into or out of the kitchen before. Same thing for you, Barnabas, but you haven't been here as long. It's a woman who is a medium height, medium build. It's like, if you could imagine like someone who is doing their best to look not indiscreet, unnoticeable, not standing out in the crowd. That would be this person. So medium height, medium hair, medium length hair, and she is carrying a few manila envelopes, and she goes right out of the kitchen table, or the kitchen door. The cash register, the cashier, and the waitress at the bar don't even acknowledge her. Don't even seem to notice that she or you are in the restaurant now that she has come out of the kitchen. They're just flat out ignoring you all now. And she comes right over to the table and takes a seat and squares up the folders in her hands, and then looks around at all of you. Well, welcome to Willow Bluff. Welcome to Delta Green. Now,
like that.
Yes?
That was when the title music starts playing.
a kid came in and started playing some polka on the jukebox. She looks around at you. Now, most of you have not met each other before. You might have gotten a chance to know each other in the time that you've been in town. I trust that all of your flights were acceptable, and I hope that you have brought some equipment with you. We might be able to give you some local provisions here, but our supplies are limited at a moment's notice. It might take a day or two if you have something difficult to acquire. Let's get down to the matter at hand. 2 days ago, a high school student fell dead during a football game.
Oh dear.
I
said, oh dear.
Oh, yes. Tragedies happen. We would not call in a Delta Green special team for a normal tragedy. There's a couple other things that are going on in town, however, and some peculiarities about his death specifically that we think merit some investigation by you all. So
you're saying a student's died and we're here. Why?
You are here to figure out why he died.
You're aware
Doesn't
I'm
seem
not
very
a
important.
medical doctor, right?
Yes, we are aware. We are very aware of your specialties.
Ah, interesting.
And Agent Ryan, we have reason to believe that, your specialties, you as well, Lieutenant Primrose and Dr. Crodmeyer, all of you have experience and expertise that we think will be eminently suitable for investigating the current threat. You also were the ones that we knew could come on a moment's notice. The details of everything that you need are in this packet. I can answer any questions that you may have. We have put a lid on the media reports about the student's death. We cannot hold it for long. His family is making some noise and want to have answers as quick as possible. So let's go through the briefing. Hector Naster, age 18, member of the football team. No known medical conditions. Went through regular physicals. Was about to be recruited to moving my cat. Recruited to a college football team. Promising future. Good grades. Absolutely no reason to suspect any health issues. Fell dead, middle of a game. We don't know why. We do know that his family requested an autopsy. The coroner found something strange about him. We don't know what. We do know that the coroner contacted let's call him an amateur physicist, some kind of YouTube channel that he has, and we have not heard anything coming out of the scientist ever since the coroner got in touch with him. Part of that, the specific types of things that researcher deals with and talks about on his YouTube channel is part of why we called you all in. Anything that smacks of the unnatural that could have gotten his attention, we think that you all have the right mix of skills and expertise for figuring out who did this. Now, or figuring out why this happened. However, this is Delta Green. Secrecy is paramount. You are all here unofficially. We were able to get you into the country. We were cleared your visas where applicable. We either knew that you had time available or we arranged for it. But officially, this operation does not exist. We need you to make sure that you make minimal waves here in Willow Bluff. We have some resources here to if you need to requisition equipment, we might be able to get it for you. You might have to requisition something from your home organizations. It's up to you whether if you think that's necessary. I can give you the contact information for the school, for the some of the people primarily involved in the case that we know of so far. And as far as that, I might, there are some leads that we are still working on. We can get some information to you hopefully within the next couple days. And with that, she looks around at all of you.
So who are you?
Good
I'm
question.
your handler. You don't need to know who I am.
Right, so let me just get this straight. So you are a handler, no other name. You've called us here because of something. We don't know what it is, but this kid, rest in peace, has fallen dead. We don't know why. And for some reason, you wanted all of us to investigate. It seems a bit weird.
The things that we deal with are all a bit weird. I'm not at liberty to say all of the things that we know. The truth is always stranger than it seems. Believe me, this is for your protection. If I'm not telling you something, it is because you probably could not handle it.
But we can handle this enough to be on this mission, but not enough to know the truth.
Believe me, it's for your own benefit. The more you know, the more danger you are in. It is an unconventional way of doing things that Delta Green has. We have a lot of ties to the government. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of power, but we also have to work off the grid. We have to work quietly, or if some of the things that we knew about got out into the general public, the consequences would be dire. You would not want to see them.
I completely understand. And can I say, as a representative of Loop International, we're on the same page.
Yes. And I trust that none of the typical NDAs are required for your participation here, Doctor.
Legal will have handled that.
She looks over at...
Out of curiosity, neither of the Winthorpe women are involved in this one, are they?
No.
Thank goodness.
She looks back and forth between Dr. Barnabas and Agent Nora. Well, agents?
I get it.
Doctor?
National security, top secret. Respect the classifications. Just did he say the coroner or the YouTuber is missing?
The YouTuber has stopped posting content. The coroner, the coroner contacted the YouTuber. We know that contact happened, but not what was communicated. We know that the YouTuber stopped communicating with other people, and they've stopped uploading content to their channel. They usually uploaded several small videos each day, very consistently. The dropping off of the map was very sudden. They were a minor physics / optics based YouTube channel. A lot of like homemade, photolithography, some photo etching, stuff like that. They had their own little optics lab. They're,
And they're,
a strange person for a coroner to talk to, but
and
that's what happened.
local to
A
Willow Bluff.
hobbyist, yes.
Okay.
A hobbyist
Okay.
in Willow Bluff. I believe he's in the northeast side of town.
All right.
He runs out of his basement.
Okay. Interesting. Has anyone investigated to find if maybe he has fallen ill or has left town?
That's why you're here.
Okay. So, check with the coroner, find out what was shared, check with the YouTube celebrity wannabe, and find out if they're alive or gone or, just binging on Mountain Dew or whatever it is that YouTubers do. Seems simple enough. I do have one question, though. Is the walleye any good? I remember it from last time.
Yeah, it's actually quite pleasant.
We should eat.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you want us to figure out the truth, but not already know the truth about what you do, for us to find the truth to give back to you.
Yes.
Yes, we know there are two sets of truths. There is the broader truth,
Yes.
and
I
there is
understand.
the specific circumstances. We want you to find out if what is going on in this town poses a threat to the people of this town.
I would
Because there is
say
a
that it
very
does.
good chance that it could.
Very need to know. Used to this.
I would say that you think it already does, as you have brought in two military specialists.
Starting to get the feeling it's less about our expertise and more about what we've already been exposed to.
Yeah.
I have
dear,
no
what have
idea
you been
what you mean
exposed
by
to?
that.
Can't talk
Well, I
about
guess-
it. Don't worry about it.
I hope that
she
everyone
looks
has
around.
their medical records up and neatly tidy. Exposures.
Like I'm
Terrible
guessing
shame.
we've all had experience with something out there that we can't quite explain or can explain.
Yeah,
Well,
not-
Yeah, right?
this whole we were the ones that were available. I think this is more.
More spendable, more than anything else.
We understand how to operate with a need to know basis and classifications and everything, and at least at a minimum know how to do the muscle part of the job. I think that's why we're here. Hopefully, you two actually have a better understanding of the other elements of what they're wanting us to investigate, because it doesn't sound much like terrorism to me.
I am here to collaborate in a very transparent fashion with your government to ensure that your government and my my employer's interests are all taken care of, and that our vital intellectual property is not in any way compromised.
What's your government?
Sweden. The EU.
And what company did you say you worked for?
Loop. You've heard of us.
Loop is a major multinational. Think of it as, Alphabet Inc. or something like that.
Yeah. It's a cross between Apple and 3M and shady, just on the edge of science. We make lots of robots. We have a couple of the world's largest particle colliders, one of which is under the Mullared Islands in Sweden, one of which is out in, I think, Nevada. And, all kinds of things, including fancy phones.
Do a lot of military contracts, drones.
Oh, of course.
Did you bring any of that
Right.
equipment with you?
I did have a slight suspicion that once I was informed that my presence was needed, I did bring a prototype sensor array, just in case.
Okay. You might find that useful. Fingers crossed.
How many days was the autopsy? How many days ago was it?
Yesterday.
Right.
And did you say that the body has not been released to the family?
No, has not yet.
Dr. Crodmeyer, are you a physician?
I am not a physician, but I do have a major in biology.
Close enough. I
Indeed.
suspect that the local coroner probably is in over their head and might appreciate a second opinion.
That was my thoughts exactly.
Let's just go and get this sorted. Unless we're staying for food, I don't know.
Oh, the
But
walleye
the
is fantastic.
Yes.
The
I already
food has
ordered. I
arrived.
ordered as soon as I got here.
Okay.
I'm just on the coffee, so.
Nora, you've probably been you had the food in front of you for a while. As you all are finishing up, the waitress comes back over, acknowledging you all for the first time since your handler entered the establishment, and brings you the food, and sets it down in front of you.
Cool. Yum. It's actually pretty good. Don't get good salmon here. It's unfortunate, but whatever.
I enjoy diner food.
Yeah. I mean, it's a diner, but it's not a diner. It's the
Exactly.
Doghouse.
Yes.
Lots of great stuff. I mean, it's a little bit
So,
too greasy and a little bit too salty, but that's American food for you.
I would like it.
So, handler, how do we contact you if we need you? If there's a way?
She pulls out a cell phone and hands it to you.
Just
With
one
this-
cell phone.
Yes, just one. We need to keep we need to keep contact limited. It's easier to control the security this way if there's only one phone out there in the wild. So one of you will have to take care of it.
I'll take it.
Ooh, all you LT.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am afraid I would lose it. So many pockets on these lab coats.
Right,
I can't
we
even
good? Should we
look at a
go?
low res screen like that anymore.
Terrible for your eyes,
yeah.
are they not?
She gets up and leaves the table and walks back out through the kitchen door, and that's the last you see of her. So
Charming
imagine
woman.
that as time passes, you all have time to finish up your food as you like it. Are you all going to go over to the coroner's office immediately, or is that where you want to go first? And if so, are you going there right away?
Is it nighttime?
I would say it's getting on towards like mid-afternoonish.
Oh, okay. So at the hours it would be open.
Yeah, then we should head to the coroner's office. After we finish our meals.
Of course.
I can't eat airplane food.
Dreadful
And they
stuff
had me
it
in
is.
business class. So, yeah,
Oh, you poor dear.
I know. What is your specialty, Dr. Crodmeyer?
It is mainly genetics and some biology.
Ah, so the swishy stuff. Got it.
Yes, I've been working on many cures for diseases and the advancement of human evolution.
Interesting. Well, that's a noble. And you two shoot things for a living, I assume.
A little more complicated than that. I haven't shot anybody in a long time. More
Oh, you poor thing.
investigation into terrorism
Yeah.
against the United States.
Also, a very noble profession.
And it's a lot more monitoring Facebook than I'd like, but you know.
Yes.
as that's happening, I just get up, speak to their person by the till, and just go, "Can I just get this cup of coffee to go?" And I'll just go sit in the car, just waiting.
Yeah, they've got some of those paper cups with the stick lids, and they just give you some of the coffee to go. Okay, so you all.
Well, I guess that means we
your-
need the check. Don't worry, I'll put it on my account.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
They take the card and give you the receipt promptly.
I'll tip well. After doing some wait a second. What's the exchange rate of dollars to kroner? Got it. Okay.
They seem really pleased as you all exit the establishment.
Because we tipped well and we're nice.
Yeah.
So what is your name again? Dr.
Oh, you can just call me Max.
Hellfist?
Hellfist.
Oh, Max.
You just call me Max.
Max is much easier.
Yes.
So what exactly is your specialty? Techie, sciencey stuff, weird stuff?
Well, my academic specialty was quantum cosmology, but I lead a minor research division for Loop.
Cool. Sounds hopefully useful.
Mm-hmm. My specialties are metamaterials and energy production, but I tend to dabble in. You'd be surprised how many disciplines quantum cosmology touches.
I'm sure I would.
Yes.
Gonna be honest, most of it goes over my head. So I'll leave that stuff to you.
Well, the interesting thing is it's happening inside your head and every part of your body as we speak.
Oh, good.
The world is a strange and exciting place. And hopefully we will learn something new and unusual. Or
Yes.
this poor young fellow had an aneurysm that burst and he died and we've all wasted our time.
Careful what you wish for.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, I guess we're gonna load up in the. Well, you guys all took different cars, right? I'm riding with LT.
Did you happen to get an SUV?
Yep, we got a utility SUV.
They put me in a compact, so I'll ride with you.
I do not have any vehicle. I took a taxi.
You took a taxi for 2 hours. Wow.
Ride with us. Yeah, that must have been expensive.
Yeah.
That was all
Hopefully,
covered by my company.
Okay, I was about to say.
Black Mesa has pretty good expense accounts.
It's a pain in the ass to do it the government side, I'll tell you that much.
The ride over to the coroner's office is, uneventful. As you pull up, though, I am going to use the Major Bane that someone redeemed in chat. As you pull up, you can see that there is one of those commercial grade Hummers, the consumer grade ones, not the real deal ones. Kind of very, very awfully parked, triple parked, including the handicapped lane, and just skidded up into the front of the coroner's office as you pull in. And as you all get out of the car, you can hear, really, really loud, angry shouting from inside of the building, but you can't hear exactly what's being said.
So the coroner's office is probably in the same complex as the police department, fire department, all that stuff, since this is a small town, or at least relatively nearby.
Yeah.
I was going to say it might be in town near the town hall, but that would be weird. No one wants a coroner next to the administrative offices.
Yeah.
So yeah, the building is relatively small. It looks a little bit like a strip mall, and there's this is where you go get your fishing licenses and your marriage licenses, and it's where the police department and fire department, emergency rescue, all that kind of stuff is. So yeah.
And the door of the the door of the Hummer is still open and it's actually still running. So you can get the sense that, whoever is in there yelling probably just got there and pulled up.
Yes. And drives a Hummer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Enough
that's
said.
already telling. All right, let's
Enough
get. I
said.
wonder if this is the family. All right, let's
Yep.
head inside.
Yep.
Break it up if we have to.
I will follow in the back behind the two military.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm used to dealing with
I don't
pain in the ass people that are upset.
don't want anything on my new white
as a terrorist
jacket.
and refuse to accept it.
I will.
Uh,
I go to the Hummer and sort of turn it off and take the keys.
Oh, good call.
I'm guessing it's still running, isn't it? Or was?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make sure there's nothing in. Is anything inside or anyone inside the car?
No, there's stuff like it looks like a very like used and lived in car. Like somebody they haven't been trashing it, but there's crumbs and stuff everywhere. There's some random bits of mail and stuff in the passenger seat, but it's that's about it. There's not anything like important or anything.
Okay.
yeah, just lock it for him.
Yeah.
That way you can say, hey, oh, we were doing you a favor.
Yep.
We don't need any
Bingo.
extra heat.
Yep.
Can accuse of stealing someone's vehicle. All right,
So yeah,
I'll check
Head
to make
in.
sure my taser
Yep.
is on me, just in case.
go towards the sound of the yelling. I assume it's where the coroner's office is.
Yeah. As you get closer, you're going to hear somebody yelling, "What do you mean that you are not going to tell me why he died? What do you mean? Did you are you in the habit of keeping secrets about dead people, about people's family members? Like what? And you hear a stammering from the clerk, like, "No, I'm sorry. This is just policy. Like, there's just we cannot release information yet. I don't care about policy. That is my son." And you can see that they're like angrily pointing towards the door to the back as you all walk into the room.
Is this a man or a woman?
Yeah, it's an older man. Is kind of like heavy set, like he was once got like a athletic, but now he's in his like late 30s, early 40s. He's kind of let himself go. Eating a little too much beer and chips and pizza. Like looks like an ex-jock kind of figure. And he's wearing like business, like the kind of clothes that say like somebody who owns a like a small branch office of like an insurance company or something. So like business casual, but not quite like high profile office business casual, like like khakis and like a nice shirt, but not like a blazer and tie and stuff.
Stuff up from Kohl's or whatever.
Since can I go ahead and just tap into Syntech records and identify this person?
Okay. One
It doesn't matter
second.
if he's an employee or not.
quick thing while you're looking at that. We got given envelopes, didn't we? By a
Yes.
handler.
Oh,
Would
yeah.
We've looked at them during the car ride. I would have thought we would have done.
Yes. So yes. Good point. I forgot that I gave you those. Inside of those was profiles on the people that are like known peoples of interest. So the student who died, Herman,
Hector.
get the full name. Oh, Hector.
Or was it Herman? Maybe it was Herman.
I wrote Herman.
Yeah, Herman.
Or Herman. Herman was back on the shirt, I think. It said Herman.
Yeah,
That's
Herman.
his surname. Yeah.
Herman, that the coroner, Arum Biggs, so Arum, is the person you're talking to. The scientist or the YouTuber is named Lloyd Faseo, Phaseo. And those are the three profiles that you were provided with, as well as some of the there was a report of like the ambulance report of being called to the school to pick up Herman and take him to the hospital. Some of the different like bureaucratic evidence of what happened is collected there. but primarily it's you recognize this man as Herman's father.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Because I assume it was the last name on the back of the jersey.
Yeah.
Well, his name was Herman Nastor.
Yeah, it should have been Nastor. Nastur.
Yeah.
It said Nastor on the back of the jersey.
Yep. So I'm just looking.
Yeah.
Since Syntech keeps records of lots of folks, by which I mean everyone in Willow Bluff. Just looking to see if I can get the man's first name.
Yes.
Didn't have to break up this fight.
Yeah. So while you're looking that up, that's a pretty straightforward thing. You don't need to roll anything for that. You're just going to be able to look that up. His name is Daniel. So Agent Nora, you are going to try and defuse the situation?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm going to come in and, Mr. Nasser, I'm a special agent. I'll flash my badge. FBI. We brought in some specialists here for your son's case to try to help determine cause of death. But we really request your patience here.
Wait.
But we are trying to help and figure out exactly what went wrong with
The
the
FBI is here. My son just collapsed in sports. Like he was just a high school student. Why are you here? I don't believe you. You probably got the badge off the internet. And he turns away from you and goes back to the clerk. Now, I am a regular donator to the town and the mayor. And I can pull some strings if I have to. Let me tell you, buddy, your job is in danger if you don't let me talk to the coroner and find out what happened.
Daniel.
Sir.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel.
What? Who?
This is
who
a
are you?
this
Okay.
is a very
You, what?
this is
you,
a very, very difficult time, and we understand. We at Syntech understand what a terrible tragedy you and your family are faced, and we understand your frustration. But believe me, we're simply doing our best to make sure that there was no negligence involved in your son's injury. We are committed to this community as you are, as Mayor Cameron is. And we want to make sure that we can investigate completely to make sure that no one is to blame. And believe me, if anyone is to blame, we will do everything we can to bring them to justice. We will also do everything in our power to make sure that Herman is taken care of. You don't need to worry about expenses. Syntech will take care of it. But you do need to be with your family now, Daniel. They need you.
Okay. SJ, give me a charisma check. Plus 20 because Dr. Max stepped in to give you assistance here.
All right, you're gonna have to tell me how this works as far as
Okay. So you and also if so we haven't talked about this before, chat. The way that Boons and Banes works in this system, or the way mechanically this is going to work, is that everything is based around skill checks with percentile dice, and my major tool and the player's tool for negotiations is to try and change the threshold that they have to roll under. So, for example, if you're trying to roll under a 45, anything that's below that is a success, and doubles is a critical success. So, SJ, looking at your and boons and banes, a minor boon is going to be a minor boon or bane is going to be a plus or minus 10 to 10% on a roll threshold, and a major boon, a boon or bane, is going to be the equivalent to advantage or disadvantage from 5e. Or I might invoke it to narratively complicate a situation. I'm in the wrong sheet. So SJ, do you see box 8 on your character sheet where it says your charisma score and then a percentage?
Yep.
So you want to roll 45 or under.
Okay.
But it's 65 or under because of the assist. Or you could just stand back and let me do it. but it's fine.
So if you
This
roll
is,
a
10D, so like if I got 60, what is this?
Is 60 would be 60.
That's the die I'm rolling though.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So you'll roll
Okay,
you roll
yeah.
two. You'll roll the one that has the zeros on it as the tens, and you'll roll the ones that the one that doesn't as the ones.
Okay.
So yeah, and
64.
so zero.
Oh,
So like
nice.
00 is 100, by the way. So
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
so that's incredibly good, actually. So the higher you roll under your target, the better the success is. Unless you
Natural.
get a like critical success, which is a double number. Daniel looks around and he glares at you, Max, and he looks around at Lieutenant Harry and Dr. Barnabas, and he's like kind of giving you like the I don't even know who the heck you are kind of look. But he looks back at you, Agent Nora, and because I mean, you are basically the authority figure here. He takes a breath, holds it for a second, and kind of like clenches his hands and lets it out. Okay, I'll trust you. Can you please tell me why the FBI is here for my son? What happened here?
We're investigating all the angles. Whatever happened to your son, it's a tragedy, and one I'm sure you as well as we would like to avoid any other parent to go through. We don't know yet. We need the time to figure it out. It could be something simple. It could be something more. That's what we're here to find out. And we are going to look at every angle to make sure we don't miss anything.
And you all are you all also FBI? Like you just he points at Dr. Barnabas. You don't look like FBI. You look like a nerd.
Oh,
We have specialists.
Thank you very much.
Like I said, all the angles. We have experts in multiple fields. We can't talk about everything.
Dr. Barnabas is a medical doctor. We asked him to come and consult on this case. Lieutenant Primrose is media relations.
He looks almost like more defeated by anything. Like the anger was the only thing that was really propping him up. And he walks over to the other side of the room. And he just kind of collapses into a chair. And he's like, well, I guess I better leave it to you then. I'm just going to sit here for a second.
We might have some questions for you afterwards if you don't mind staying.
Yeah. I can give you my number if you need to get in touch with me. And he goes over to the desk and he grabs like a sheet of paper or whatever off of the like just kind of reaches over and rummages around the clerk's desk without even asking and just like finds a pen and piece of paper and writes it down like, okay, here. You already have this info, by the way.
I was like, it's 651-403-4333. Thank you. But
It's better to get it from him so he's not like, how did you get this? I assume that's your Hummer parked outside?
Yeah, that's mine.
As you say that, I sort of dangle the keys in my hand and go, you left
my key.
left it running.
We didn't want anybody to steal your stuff from inside while you were inside, so locked it up for you.
He looks like he didn't even realize that like his car was out there still like open and running. He reaches out and takes the keys and is just kind of looking at them like he doesn't even really know what they are. And he nods at you all. Thank you. And he walks outside, leaving you all alone in the room with the clerk.
We're here to see the coroner.
Yes. It is he expecting you?
no.
No, is he back there? And I was going to start walking back there.
Oh, excuse me. You can't. I
can. I flash my badge again.
Yep.
You can walk inside.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay with her.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like he just kind of like sits in his chair, like I don't know what's going on today. I'm just gonna roll forward your charisma roll from earlier.
The
As
charisma
you-
is a badge, not me.
So as you go back, it's basically there's like a small hallway, and the examining rooms are like one or two small rooms off the side of it. There's one door that is open to one of the rooms. And as you approach, you can see through it that there is a small room, maybe about 15 by 10. There is a single table in the middle of the room. There are that you can see at the back wall. There are some of those refrigerator cabinets that you can slide a body into. There is a figure that is on the table that is covered up right now. You can't see. And there is there's someone who is sitting in the far corner of the room, writing at a table in a notebook.
Okay, cool. So I don't have like a knife on it. So all right, I'll bang on the door. I kind of mentioned to Max and Barnabas, like, this isn't my area of expertise. I'm gonna be letting you guys take the lead on the questions here, and I might interject if there's anything I think we might need to know.
Sounds pleasant enough.
Okay. So he looks. The man looks up. He is wearing a white lab coat like yours, Dr. Barnabas. It's worse for wear. It's not dirty and stained, but it is kind of like frayed at the edges. It's got kind of that off-white color that says that it's been a while since it was bleached. Underneath he's wearing some pretty normal like clothes, like like a t-shirt and some jeans underneath. He seems pretty casual with everything, but he looks up and he's got looks over at you. He's like, who are you?
We flash the badge in the window.
He presses a button and the door opens up, it unlocks with a latch. It unlatches audibly.
I'll open the door and let everybody else go in.
Oh, thank you for the door.
Mr. Biggs, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you finally.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Oh, I'm Max. I don't think we've actually met, but I'm familiar with your work. All the good that you do for the citizens of Willow Bluff.
That is the first time anyone has ever said that to me.
Well, as you know,
Thank you.
Syntech is very invested in the health and success of the people of Willow Bluff.
Oh,
And-
you're Syntech?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
To be frank,
Cool.
Can I call you Aram?
Yep. Yes, you can.
To be frank with you, Aram, this unfortunate situation could be a bit of a PR disaster. So we decided to, pull some strings and bring in some specialists to make sure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed, so that we can understand what happened to the poor unfortunate hermit. And if there's any chance for Syntech to do right by his family, we will certainly do so. It's our civic duty.
Yeah. No, I mean, believe me, I am glad for everything that Syntech has done for our town. I hope you
Still haven't
realize
fixed that clock tower, though, have we? It's on the list.
It would be nice. I can't just tell you about an ongoing, case and investigation that I have. Like, this is privileged information. Like, we haven't even told the father yet. Like,
you
was that
certainly
him
can.
out there just now?
Oh, yes. We calmed him down. You certainly can speak to the FBI about it, though, can't you?
Can I see your badge again?
Show him my badge.
And
Federal jurisdiction.
okay. The rest of you, are you just kind of like chilling around, like standing behind Nora and Max?
I am
Yeah.
near Agent Nora.
Okay.
I'm sort of just looking around, getting a bit impatient.
Okay. He okay, he turns around and makes a note in his notebook. Well, yeah, okay, whatever. I never really cared much about these rules anyway. He stands up and he goes over to the table. So Herman, 18, collapsed in the middle of a football game. Records said, health records said nothing was wrong with him. I'm not going to show you anything here because it's very gross. At first, from the outside, and everything seemed fine with him. No physical injuries. No outside marks of any damage. It was almost like he took one blow and collapsed. The family was very insistent that we do an autopsy, and the school's insurance put up a stink, and so we're trying to figure out what happened. And he pulls back no, sorry, he doesn't pull it back because I just said he wasn't going to show you. So weirdest thing.
I reach out and pull
Oh,
the
gee.
cloth off.
It's fine.
You can see that where did you pull it off the whole thing or off just part of it?
Up to like below the torso.
Okay. You can see that there is an incision mark where he was sewed back up that was on his chest. There are a bunch of incision marks that have been sewed up on his arms, like up and down his arms. And you can see on the tops of his thighs the same thing. And Aram looks at he's like panicked for a second, like yes. Okay, so on examination, we were examining his internal status, and we found shards of glass inside of him. Do you see here, like here and here and here? He's pointing at the incisions that were sewed up on his arms. At first I found them sitting around his diaphragm and around his heart, and then once I started looking for them, I was finding them everywhere. There were tiny little things, little shivers. You might even miss them if you weren't looking for them, or slivers. They
Well, like
they
on
were
the
everywhere.
skin or actually inside?
Inside the muscle. I think that hit
still have them
that he
somewhere?
took cut him up from the inside.
Do you still have the shards of glass somewhere in like a bag?
Do I still have them? He reaches under the table and he pulls up a cardboard box and he puts it. It's about the size of like a Pop-Tart box, and he slams it down. You can hear some crinkling. Everybody give me. No, actually, no. That's fine. Never mind.
Well, I'm pulling out my device.
Yeah. He puts it on the table. You can hear some crinkling and clinking, and some sounds of broken glass. Sounds a little bit wet as he puts it onto the table. I couldn't find anything better to put them in. I obviously didn't get all of them out. Just, I was just trying to figure out where they all were. So some of these is biceps, triceps, deltoids, abs, and he's kind of just pointing and listing off various muscle groups on the body that he was examining.
Where did he die? On the field, or was he off the field?
on the field. The trainer, he was unresponsive when the trainer got over to him, and they put him onto an ambulance, but the EMTs said that he was already gone when they got there.
Okay. What position did he play?
I don't something that took a hit.
Okay.
Working theories?
And you said there was no lacerations
None visible on
Going
the
in.
outside,
going in.
but inside everywhere.
What about stomach contents? What did we have there?
It looked like he had recently swallowed some, like, I don't know, Tang, something like that. His stomach was empty, lots of water, some Gatorades, I guess, a power bar.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Did we do any examination of the cranial area?
That's a little bit outside of my expertise. We were hoping to get. That's why we haven't released any information to the family yet. Is we need someone who is more equipped than I am to come in from the next city over.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah, and you have Dr. Barnabas Crodmeyer. So
Yes.
You
I
can do it.
I can definitely help with that.
Oh, well, that would just, yeah, let me go get some of the paperwork, so that we can get you registered in our system and get it noted down that you were here and doing this. I'll just be right back. And he scurries out of the room.
Can I stop him just before he goes?
Just keep him outside the door.
Yeah.
If you can, Lieutenant.
I follow behind, and sort of put my arm around him and go, so doctor, tell me about yourself, and as slowly go to silence as we walk away.
I just want to note that I have been keeping distance between myself and this body.
Okay.
Agent Ryan, do you need to throw up?
No, I just don't want any weird, contagious, whatever. Well, I don't know what we're dealing with here.
I will look around the.
That goes through it, so you guys can touch it all you want, but I will remain a distance away.
I will look around the area and hand her a surgical mask for her safety.
what do you think, Dr. Crodmeyer? Spontaneous polymerization of the blood? Some other...
It's a possibility. However, the glass in the being inside the
but is it
muscle
glass?
tissue.
That's the question. So yes, I will pull out what looks to be a...
Yes.
It looks almost like a tuning fork. It's a little bit larger. And it is absolutely matte black. Like no reflection whatsoever. It doesn't hold fingerprints. There's a little bit of a light though, little LED on the bottom. And then I'll pop open my phone and use that to take a reading. This is Meta. It is a quantum variance detection device. But I don't explain what it is.
Okay.
Just seeing if there's anything unusual.
Yeah. Give me a actually everybody that's here, as Dr. Max is examining the sorry, was it the glass or the body that you were examining?
The glass.
Okay, as you're reaching over
And
the
then
glass
I'll get the body too. So yeah.
Yeah. Everybody takes a moment and reflects on, how strange and weird this is. Like, this is a cause of death that I assume none of you would normally have ever been exposed to. Everybody give me a sanity check.
Including me, or is it because I'm out of the room?
Yeah. Yes, you, because you were there when he was explaining it.
Cool.
How do we do a sanity check?
So on your sheet,
Yep.
there is the
It's under derived attributes, row 21.
yeah.
I see it.
You're rolling, trying to roll at or under your current sanity.
At or under
Under.
with percentile dice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, great.
That's fine.
One.
Going a little bit crazy there, Barnabas.
Yeah. Stan or lower. This is very minor. If everybody else passes, then nothing happens. Dr. Barnabas, you lose 1 point of sanity. So on your sheet where it says the current, just bump that down by 1. And that's part of that is because this is like when I say this is something like in very strange, like you have never heard of anything like this happening. This is completely outside of like not even just like your experience, but your like professional understanding of what could possibly happen to a human body. Like you do not even begin to understand like how this could have happened. So just that awareness that like this incontrovertibly did happen and you not knowing why, that's kind of the crux of this, of the unreality of this current situation.
I rolled 10 over my current sanity.
Okay.
So I got 65 when it's 55.
Okay. So that's also -1 for you. I would imagine there probably for you, Harry, there wouldn't be quite the like professional association with like, you know, the human body. So I'm probably leave it up to you, and also Barnabas, if you want to like think of it however you wish, you know what effect that would have on you. But Harry, like I was thinking maybe it could be just that this is similarly just a very strange way for someone to die, but whatever your thoughts on that are.
Yeah, and also I think as well, sort of trying to still piece like what happened to my platoon and stuff, and thinking, was this part of it? And that sort of comes across in my mind, just that quick second, just seeing it, and just
Yeah,
sort of knocks me back a bit.
Are you thinking about your platoon right now, like a lot, or is it just something that's in the back of your mind?
It's back in my mind, and it sort of comes and goes at certain points. So I try to distract myself where I can. But yeah, that sort of brought it back up again.
Okay. Max and Nora, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm
I got
fine.
12.
Okay. Sorry, Max.
I'm fine. I'm not as
yeah.
fine as she is, but I'm fine.
No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you all are both fine.
That is whatever, part of the job.
Yeah.
I'm
actually-
utterly disinterested in this person and whatever. I'm interested in the scans.
Okay.
I would probably just reach in and pick up some of the glass and take a look at it to see if I can identify if it's indeed glass or if it's some sort of polymer. Find something if I can like tap it, make sure that it's not doesn't have any unusual physical properties. But I'm mostly interested in what my little tuning fork tells me.
Yeah. So Matt,
Max,
everybody
are you
else.
wearing glasses, or are you wearing gloves while you're handling the glass?
Probably. I'll do that. I'll do the thing where I pick up a pair of nitrile gloves and then I don't like put them on. I just use them to pick up one of the pieces of glass.
Yeah, and there are forceps around if you need to grab some, but it's probably not necessary. So to the rest of you, it looks like Dr. Max is just kind of poking around in a box of broken glass, and that is what it looks like to you as well, Dr. Max. Visually, to your eyes, occasionally it seems like there's a double reflection from some of these pieces of glass. The readings that you're getting from your device, have you ever interacted with a quantum computer before?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So do you know how sometimes like
Yep.
if you brought your instruments near a quantum computer in the middle of a run, it would look like there were two computers there maybe before it settled on its final answer. It's almost like that. It's almost like the glass is not quite sure which piece of glass it is.
Yeah.
That, you know, if you pointed at any given piece of glass, it's like, am I like am I this type or that type? It's not visually changing. It's more something that can only be picked up by the device and the occasional glint of light.
And the occasional glint of light that's apparent to you if you know what you're looking for. So it's a macroscopic superposition of eigenstates. Got it.
Yes.
I probably say that out loud. Macroscopic superposition of eigenstates. Make a little note on my pad.
Do you explain that to anyone or just...
I'm the only
say it out
person who's... well, I guess...
It's not worth explaining to me.
Yeah. I just assumed that no one's going to know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well,
So-
now I see why we were brought here. Doctor, what are your
Yes.
findings?
Doctor. It's definitely a human.
Can you confirm that the glass originated from within and wasn't administered externally or in food?
Oh,
I mean, just by the
yes.
amount of glass, it's unlikely that he ate it.
That is very unlikely. Yes, and they didn't find any in the stomach, which would be odd. Yeah, let me just take these scissors and this scalpel and cut open one of these sewn up incisions and take a look.
Sure. Give me a medicine check.
Yeah, because I'm good at that.
Could it be biology instead?
Sure. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, exactly. Give me biology.
Good.
Because you're not trying to cure him.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
exactly.
if you
I was
can, then
gonna say,
amazing.
like,
Then we have a
you
whole
were
other mystery to
thinking-
solve.
Stab him in the heart.
Not down for that.
Better.
And for chat, if you haven't seen the character sheets for this game, there are like 50 different possible skills that you can have. And so, and to the players, if you ever have an idea about you think that something would be more appropriate in a case like this, then absolutely feel free to speak up and negotiate your role.
Sounds good. I got a 27.
Okay, pretty good. You can tell. You go in with your scissors, you're kind of just undoing the work that was, or are you just kind of examining what was done before, or are you trying to probe new and figure out if there's anything new that you can pick up?
I am checking out what was there. So I'm
Okay.
opening up a sewn up incision, looking around, possibly taking a pair of tweezers and splaying the muscle tissue to see how the glass slivers have worked their way out, if they left any residual cuts and strains.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see as you cut open the incisions. You can see where the glass was, where it was kind of slicing inside of the muscle. And give me an alertness check.
Sure.
Ooh.
So 40 or under.
25.
Okay. You notice that whoever did this they did a really good job. There is a lot of you're looking at the box that Max was looking at. You're looking at some of these incisions. You can tell they did a really good job of a very thorough job of where they opened up. They found all the pieces. You're finding some pieces though. They didn't get all of them. And some of the spots that you're finding, it looks like shards that they would have pulled out. They should have seen them. They I am suddenly blanking. Aram should have seen them. There's no way he couldn't have seen them, but he didn't pick them out.
So yes, I'm taking them out with the tweezers and asking Dr. Max to bring the box over so I can discard these as well.
Are you sharing the information about the he may have missed them?
Yes, as I pull them out. These are rather big shards. It's unlikely that he would have missed these as if
It's possible they weren't there.
Maybe. I would very much like to open up the skull and
Bonesaw.
look into the brain. Yes.
just
Do you
go.
see one around here?
I'll just go rummage through cabinets. Bonesaw. Here you go. Cordless too.
Ooh, fancy, high tech for this place.
Okay.
I will take an apron off the wall because I don't want to ruin my lab coat.
Yeah. I'll step back.
Yes.
I don't want brains on the Prada.
And then I will turn to Dr. Max and Agent Ryan. If you are squeamish of blood, viscera, and the cracking of the cranium, then do not look and cover your ears. And then
We can back it.
Put in some AirPods. Put in some AirPods.
The camera will kind of go back out through the porthole window of the door as you start to lean over the body. And we will cut to later. Not too much later. You're in the adjacent conference room. You, Dr. Barnabas, have taken a lot of notes about what you found, and you're discussing them with the rest of the team. Specifically, what you found is that the same shards that were in his in the muscles are present inside of the brain, but not nearly to the same degree. Where you might find like dozens, you might find 2 in the brain.
do I know if they're located in any specific area of the brain or closer to the brainstem, perhaps spinal column?
There are a few that are in the areas that regulate like autonomous function, like breathing, like regulated breathing, the stuff that just kind of happens automatically. And there were 1 or 2 in the parts of the brain that deal with memory and reasoning.
Interesting. Well, from the records here, it didn't appear that he was impaired until the moment of impact. In fact, according to the reports, he was performing athletically at a very high standard until he was hit.
Dr. Max, as you have went over the case file for Mr. Whatever his name was, they share a locker room, correct? All the athletes would.
Oh, I would assume so.
Maybe we should take a look at his personal effects.
Yes. Potentially speak to the, I assume, opposing player.
Yes. As well.
However, I'm very curious if this is what our friend Mr. Biggs revealed to the social media influencer / YouTube star. What about
Yes.
this might have rung a bell with him? So it's still early. We might as well check out that individual first and then see if we can't get in touch with the principal. Agent Ryan.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on informing the local municipal authorities? I mean, I know we're not supposed to make any waves.
Yeah, I've been just kind of flashing my badge and like holding kind of like over my
Yes.
name, but flashing the badge.
But it's a very small town, and the if my records are correct, if the new mayor is the former police commissioner or whatever they call them here in the United States.
I'm sure we could flex some jurisdiction and let them see if he can grant us some.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
maybe our handler suggested that we keep things on the down low. So perhaps we try to be as circumspect as possible. And maybe instead of telling people that we're from the FBI, we can just tell them that we are investigating on behalf of Syntech. Less likely to arouse suspicion, perhaps.
Would Syntech take it well that you were invoking their authority?
Loop owns Syntech.
Good point.
Loop owns Syntech. And Syntech kind of owns Willow Bluff, or they think they do. That is a matter of some dispute among the local populace, as you can imagine. But
Okay. Lieutenant Harry, you took Aram out to keep him busy and distracted. How did that conversation go?
Just talk about sort of how he got into the line of work and just find out about him, really.
Okay. So you probably were finishing up that conversation as the rest of them were adding, or were finishing up, as Dr. Barnabas was finishing up relaying his findings. And so he's kind of walking ahead of you into the room, and as he's going over to the coffee maker and grabbing a pot. Very practiced movements. What's it? So tell me more about that last mission you were on, Harry. I know you can't tell me much, but it sounded very intriguing, very interesting. I'd love to hear more.
Yeah. And I sort of spin some sort of just random sort of made up mission that's not really about anything, but just something that I've seen in a movie just to keep him entertained, sort of thing.
Okay. Give me a charisma roll.
Absolutely. Cool. Oh dear. 85. My
Okay.
Christmas 65.
Yeah, he was looking really engaged for a second, and then he, as you're describing some of like the story beats of the movie, remember, he's almost like, you get the sense that like he's caught on, and he's almost like he knows what story point is coming next as you're talking, but he doesn't say anything. He's trying to be polite now.
You relate the plot of A Good Day to Die Hard to him. And he's like, that was not a good movie, man.
I see that look in his eyes just for a sec. He's like, wait a minute, and they're sort of friendly, sort of pat in the back and sort of just we're having fun here.
Yeah. Well, how did it go in with looking at those glass shards?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
They are definitely glass.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, we
Seemed
haven't done
that
a
way to me.
spectroscopic analysis, so
the spectral what?
spectroscopic analysis.
Yes.
No, you don't have that capability here. We might send a small sample to the research facility outside town, though.
Okay.
With your permission, of course. Have to maintain chain of custody and all that.
I mean, you want to take just the glass, right?
Yeah, just a tiny, tiny piece.
Oh, leave some of it behind. But yeah, I mean, I already gave some of that to my friend, so
Yes,
take some of it
about
with you.
that.
Well, I mean, it's weird, right? Like finding glass inside a person. So one of my poker buddies. Let me tell you, guy's pretty smart. Never graduated high school, but he's whip smart.
I'm sorry to interject here. But what is your you have a medical license, correct?
Yeah.
And you as Dr. Max was saying, chain of command, and we want to go through you and be polite and send off some of the samples to a research site. So you're aware of protocols. You cannot be giving information about a deceased victim here.
Now, Dr.
To anyone.
Quadmeyer, this is a small town without a lot of resources, although obviously since Syntech came in, there's been a significant improvement. But it sounds like our friend Aram here just happened to know someone who was a specialist in optics. And if you have a strange phenomena involving glass, someone who understands optics might be able to give you some additional information about it, help you figure out what's going on. That's right, isn't it?
I didn't tell him.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him it came out of a body. I'm not crazy. I just
So you just gave
said,
your friend some glass. Hey, here's some glass.
yeah. I mean, let me show. Oh, you should see this guy's basement. He's got all
Yes,
these
we should.
machines. I mean, I haven't seen stuff that good since university. Let me tell you. And so I just thought, like, hey, this is pretty cool. You might know what's going on with this. And I said, like, hey, can you take a look at this and figure out what's going on?
That sounds like a very
Maybe
smart
I should
move.
have.
What did he say?
I don't know. That was yesterday, day before. I pulled the first couple pieces out. I took a look at him and said, well, this is weird. And called him up, said, hey, got something you might want to take a look at. That was probably night before last. Haven't heard from him since. I was figured, it's Saturday's coming up. We'll see each other for our poker game. But we'll chat about it then.
So you haven't attempted to contact him since?
No, I haven't tried.
Okay.
And where's your friend live?
Yeah, he's actually not far from here. He's
242 Elm Street North.
Yeah, he rattles off the address. And as you all are kind of like through this whole conversation, you have the entire time that you've been interacting with Aram, he seemed a little bit like odd. None of you knew him before. This is the first time you all have met him, and it would probably take an unusual person to have this kind of line of work of, being the coroner in a small town. But he seems a little more scatterbrained, a little more easy to distract than you might otherwise have guessed.
I don't really believe him that he didn't tell his friend what this was from. Because what, are you just going to hand somebody some shards of glass and be like, hey, look at this, don't ask any questions? I'm not going to say that because I'm used to interrogating guilty people, and you play up like you're their friend and just interested in what they're talking about and not going to be mad at them or get them in trouble. But that's why I've been holding my tongue. But
yeah, give me Nora, give me a human roll. Or human intelligence.
Can I also make a human roll?
Absolutely. If anybody else wants to as well.
I got a 50.
A human roll?
Human intelligence.
Human intelligence.
Got you. No, I'm not going to bother. Mine's 10%.
I'm good. I got 50 and mine's exactly 50. All right. Do you have to make it above or below, or
below.
what if it's right at it?
Oh, if it's right at, I believe it passes.
Okay, I got literally exactly 50.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's an 11. So it's
oh wait, no, sorry. My human is 60, so I'm good.
Yeah, it's an 11, which is a hard success and a crit.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Does
cool.
he?
Okay.
Is he a friend of Jeff from Health and Safety? And the reason that he's so goofy is because he's half, on the jazz cabbage. Or is it something else?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, he probably is, but
Jeff is probably an irregular at the poker night games.
Yep.
Once in a while he might stop in. I don't think that you get the sense that he's okay. Absolutely, he is lying. He's trying to save face. That was immediately clear to both of you, Nora and Max. But not only that, Max, you get the sense through that whole conversation that he is distracted. You can kind of tell from the things that he's saying and the way that he's acting that the normal way that people would move from thought to thought is not quite there. And you have some experience with unusual things before. You've seen what it does to people when they are around it too much. You get the sense that he's spent a little bit too much time thinking about this glass.
Got it. So not that there's anything necessarily specific that he's withholding. It's just that he's pretending to be all normal and stuff, but he's
you can tell that he's barely holding it together. He's not trying to lie to you to necessarily save face or anything like that. It's just that
he doesn't want people to think he's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this must be terribly upsetting, Aram.
Yep.
I think the best thing to do to head home, kick your heels up, have a beer, relax. We'll take it from here.
And don't give anyone else a glass.
No, just you and my friend Lloyd. That's about it.
Great. Well, take it easy, Aram.
Yeah.
Oh, and probably don't mention that we were here. We, are trying to keep the press situation under control.
Yeah. Yeah. Can do.
Great.
And
Will
he
you?
Yeah, I mean, he gave his friend some glass, so I don't know if he's gonna feel like he's just gonna
It's
tell
fine.
people.
That was very reasonable.
yeah,
Because I mean, like, if we told someone else that you gave out sort of glass out of a dead body, like,
It
I'm not
wouldn't
sure
be.
how that would look. So
It wouldn't be a big deal. It's Willow Bluff.
I mean, maybe he just was out riding the motorcycle, slipped and fell, wasn't wearing leather. Yeah, I like that idea of a beer and going home. So you know what? It's just about quitting time. Yeah, if you all don't mind packing out, then I think I'm gonna close up. And he starts putting around the office and cleaning up and tidying up some of his stuff. And then he leaves the room and goes back. You kind of hear him going across the hall back to the examining room where he was earlier.
Sounds great. Bye. We should go see Lloyd.
Agreed.
The address that you get from Lloyd for Lloyd, not very far away. You barely need to drive. You already had it, but like you said earlier, it's nice to get it so that you have you're not walking around with information that you probably shouldn't know. As you drive up, you can see it looks like a pretty normal suburban house. It's got a 2-story deal, recently built. It's got a garage with a pretty significant welcome in, Raiders, by the way. It's got a pretty significant over garage area, attached garage. All of the blinds are pulled shut around the house, and a couple of them, the ones that are above the garage, have blackout curtains on them to block out any light. And it's a pretty quiet neighborhood, pretty typical suburbs, trees, stuff like that. The yard's pretty empty. Doesn't look like anybody's really been, not that they haven't been taking care of it, but they don't really put a lot of effort into the landscaping. Looks like they just pay somebody to come by and mow the lawn once a week.
Ew. So, best to be prepared. Our friend Lloyd might not be feeling himself.
in what way do you mean?
Well, he might be suffering from the same affliction that our friend Aram was suffering from.
Oh, that's...
Mental instability.
Yes. And he lives in a dank area, is where he does his, let's say, research.
Well, I mean, yes.
Do we actually know what his profession is, or was it just someone you play poker with?
The files that
The
you
YouTuber.
got. Oh, sorry. I think I interrupted somebody.
I was just saying we know he's a YouTuber, and we can gather from what he does on his channel.
But apart from that, we don't really know anything else.
He does odd jobs around town, is what your file says, that he does odd jobs around town, part-time work here and there. He gets a little bit of money from the YouTube channel and some ad sponsorships. Like, he's got the HelloFresh and the NordVPN advertisements and stuff. So,
Oh, fishy.
yeah.
Of course. Yes. He probably has helped several meddling little old ladies set up their internet or something.
Yeah. He lots of casseroles in his fridge from times that he helps people out with their computer troubles.
Yep.
Have you guys watched any of his videos? Is there any merit to what he babbles on about there in terms of your lines of work?
No.
I do not have time for those frivolous videos.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's
Fist
part
bump,
of
Dr. Crodmeyer. It's like,
investigation.
you
so
two,
I'm
what?
not saying you would normally watch
We have
it.
labs
We
and
have things to do.
assistants.
We do
Hey.
not have the downtime that you do.
I mean, it would be part of the job.
But if you two could definitely go first,
Sure.
just in case this person is a little. Oh, I don't like using the M word. We'll say unstable.
I might be fine.
Yeah.
Very likely to be a conspiracy theorist, however, because it's America.
Oh yes, Americans are dreadfully ill with that disease.
No offense, Agent Ryan.
Offense taken.
I walk to the door, knock on the door,
Okay.
wait for a response. Yeah,
There's no response at first,
knock louder.
and then a minute or two goes by, and you hear some heavy footsteps that sound like they are coming down some stairs inside and coming to the front door. The front door has it's got a glass cutout in the front of it with some blinds over it. You can see somebody like peeking through and looking through at you and saying through the door like, "Yes, hello."
Yeah, hi. Sorry, out of character. I've forgotten what the name is. Is it Lloyd?
Oh,
Lloyd.
Lloyd, yes.
Yeah. Is Lloyd in?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, who are you all? What's up?
well,
This is Lloyd's house.
rather like not speak through the door. If you want to open the door, that'd be great.
Oh, yes. And he reaches down and he pulls open the door. And you can see that his house inside is not messy, not clean, in between, lived in. And he pulls open the door and he's like, "Come on in!" And he gestures over to his couches. "What can I do you for? What's up? Let me go get you some drinks." And he leaves the door open and putters off towards the kitchen.
Okay.
I'm gonna poke around a little bit, not like poke, but like I'm looking around as you do. Like it's just kind of reflex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything in plain sight, I
Interesting.
Exercising situational
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah.
Doobadoo. Max and Barnabas, you probably wouldn't notice this. Harry and Nora, it looks there is a lot you can see through the door through the like open entrance to the kitchen. He's been buying a lot of groceries lately. And he hasn't been throwing out like you see there's a lot of piled up trash. Like he's been like bagging the trash and taking it out of the trash can and leaving it next to the bin. It looks like he's been holed up for a while and hasn't really been like leaving and doing stuff. And everything looks pretty messy and cluttered, and it doesn't look like it has been cleaned in a while.
Almost like he hasn't left his place. He's just been sort of living in and not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
What did he look like when we saw him? Like, was he just wearing
Yeah.
PJs or sweats or?
He was wearing shorts, cargo shorts, sneakers. He had on like a
He was wearing
like a-
shoes inside.
yeah.
Ugh. He's definitely a pod person.
Yeah, he had never took. He did not. He was wearing his shoes when you saw him, and he went off towards the kitchen. He left his shoes on. He's wearing. He's got like a short sleeve button down on. He's got kind of some like close cropped hair. And yeah.
That's a choice, because if you're not going anywhere, that means he went to bed either with shoes on or woke up and specifically chose to put shoes on to stay in his house, which you usually see with people that experience trauma.
And this is Minnesota, where no one wears shoes inside. Clearly, something is very wrong with this man.
Is this heat on?
It could be a trauma response that you see that in victims sometimes, so that they can get away and go without having to put their shoes on.
The heat is on.
Okay, yeah, he's crazy.
Well, he's also wearing short
Crazy.
sleeves and a shirt and shorts. He needs heat.
You can see that there are, in a couple spots around the house, there are like some ring lights and some like camera mounts and stuff. Like not like high end camera mounts, more like the kind of stuff you would get for like $15 off Amazon or eBay or something, like to hold a phone in various places around the apartment or around the house. He comes back in and he's got a tray and he's got a pitcher of water and he's got a couple beers and he brings them over. He's like, "Oh, come on in, sit down, make yourselves home." And he sets out sets the tray down on the coffee table. So, welcome to Lloyd House. What can I do for y'all? What are y'all doing in this part of town?
I grab a beer. Is the beer open or is it in a can? Is it?
It is a twist off bottle.
Okay, cool. All right. I just grabbed a beer. So this like camera stuff, is this your YouTube stuff then?
Yeah. So I've got a couple different projects. I've got the daily vlogs. I've got my my experiments that I do. I've got some slow motion stuff that I do. I don't have a real slow motion camera, but phones these days they're pretty awesome. Lots of small stuff. Have you seen that hydraulic press channel? Like I've been thinking about trying to make one of those and press some stuff and see if I can. For a while I was doing those red hot nickel balls, and it doesn't really seem, that, and the fidget spinner thing came and went, and just lots of stuff.
Fascinating, Lloyd. How are you doing? Like, just sort of gesture around, just sort of how the places look. Is this normal? Is this?
I mean, I'm a little embarrassed that y'all came here when it's like this, but it's usually a little bit cleaner, especially when I'm filming. But I've been working on some really cool stuff lately, and I just haven't really had the time to clean it up lately. So just kind of seems like the time is flying by.
Should we stop you from going somewhere? And I'll gesture towards his shoes.
Oh no, it's just some of the equipment up there is it's pretty heavy and kind of dangerous if I step on it. So it's for my own safety.
Seems reasonable.
So we're actually. Oh, you could go ahead if you want to.
No, Nora, you go.
Oh, okay. Just gonna say we're here to help out Aram. He said he gave you some glass to look at, and we're following up to see if you found anything with that.
Yeah, the glass. Yeah. How is Aaron, by the way? Did he tell you about how I kicked his butt last week?
He didn't actually. He failed to mention that.
Yeah, he's 200 on the hole. He's gonna have to make it good by Saturday, or he can't buy into the game. But he probably didn't want to admit that he's a sore loser. Anyway, yeah, come on, yeah, the glass. That's what I've been working on lately. Do you want to come see? It's really cool. I'm putting together a video about it. Should go up in a day or two.
Yeah, we'd love some behind the scenes.
Fascinating. Yes, let's go see.
Is Lloyd wearing like can you see any like bare skin anywhere? And if there is there anything like any intrusions or anything that seems a bit odd that we can notice?
Glass sticking out of his skull.
It's got a big old glass sticking out.
No, but there is let me see. There is everybody give me an alertness check.
No,
Yes.
I'm looking at my phone.
Okay.
36.
Okay.
I get a 40.
I made it.
Okay.
Barely.
27.
Okay. Those
Yeah,
are all
27.
passes, I assume.
Yes. Mine was. I'm 60%, so 27 is.
Yeah.
It's a hard
Crit or
success.
something, I think.
Great.
Yeah.
You all, the cargo, the people who, aside from Dr. Max, who was on his phone, you noticed that his cargo pants pockets are bulging with a bunch of stuff. Like you can't really see what's in them, but clearly he's been kind of like shoving stuff in it. One of the pocket kind of like not lids, the fold over bit is actually like up a little bit. You can see that there's some kind of like silver packet that's inside. He goes up the stairs. His lab is the bit that's above the garage, and so he has on the second floor there's a door from the main part of the house into the over garage area. He leads you up and into the room, and you can see that in the middle of the room is a makeshift laser table. So this is a very stable table, very heavy. It looks like he took apart a really high-end pool table to get the like slate that's in it so that he had a very heavy flat surface that he could mount stuff on. On shelves around the edges of the room is a lot of like various filming equipment, like more ring lights, more stands, some like cell phone chargers and stuff like that. And on the currently set up on the table is a series of bouncing lights, about a series of mirrors that are positioned in various places, and he has a high power laser that's plugged in but not on at one end of the table. And you can see that he has set up some kind of like, you can't really see what's going on because it's not on, but some kind of circuitous light path that is converging on a small chip glass that is held in a container in the center of the table. And he's so all the other YouTube projects, those are mostly just to bring in some ad revenue. This is what I'm really excited about. I just love physics. Never did too great at it in high school, but you can learn a lot of stuff on YouTube these days. So I've been doing some experiments, and Aram told me like, hey, can you cut me some slack on that on that debt from last game if you take a look at this? And so I said, well, let me take a look at it, and I'll let you know. I'll talk to the guys, and wouldn't you know it, this thing's just rad as heck. And
it's just glass, isn't it?
Oh, that's where you're wrong. And he reaches down onto the table and he pulls out a box of they're like tinted glasses. Okay, this is the cool part. Put these on. You gotta put these on. Safety first.
Take the glasses.
Everyone puts on their glasses
except for Dr.
Nice.
Crodmeyer, who has his own.
Yeah. He looks at yeah. You look at the glasses and you're like, you recognize them as very cheap, like barely better than dollar store sunglasses, and probably wouldn't really be much use at all with a high power laser. Better than nothing.
Yeah, but they're polarized. That helps.
Yeah. Lloyd reaches down over the laser and he flips a switch, and there is the laser goes forward from the laser beam lights up green in the room, and the blackout curtains are down. He flips off the light switch on the edge, so all of the lights around the room go off, and you can see the laser goes into a mirror that splits it into 2, and then another 2 into 4. And they all kind of go up and down and around the table, and they all converge. They're angled so that they meet in the same spot. And on the glass, which is positioned so that it's kind of like flat lens. And as the lasers go through, they aren't 4 laser lights anymore. They are somehow one laser that is projecting onto, like, through and out to the side of the glass onto the other side of the room, and they are like, the beam is moving. Like, the table is specifically designed to be stable. The lasers are not moving. He's not moving the source or any of the mirrors. The beam, as it comes out the other side of the glass, is, like, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, jerky, sometimes with smooth arcs. It's completely unpredictable, but it's moving as it comes out through the glass and projects across the room.
So
Everybody give
what
me a
does-
sanity check.
Oh, cool. I have to take this back up because I can't actually see what I'm doing.
Oh yeah,
Damn it.
I'm
just
good.
dropped one of mine.
I'm fine as well.
Hold on. I dropped one of my tents.
Oh my god, 52. My current is 54.
59. I'm at 7. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Cool.
good.
Barnabas and Max, do you pass or fail?
Yeah, 29.
I passed.
I'm good.
39.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would say that probably for Harry and Nora, and maybe even Barnabas, you probably don't really get why this is especially weird. It's just kind of
I'd be like, what's this mean?
Come for content.
yeah. Max, you probably recognize immediately that this is probably not surprising given what you found from the glass earlier, but it is definitely an unusual phenomenon, and you would understand why he would be so excited about this. Lloyd is crouched over. He's like, "Do you see? I have never seen anything like this. I haven't looked in the textbooks, not on YouTube, not on Wikipedia, not on any of the free journals. Just I can't find anything like this that's like this. And I've tried sketching it out with like taking a pencil and trying to sketch out like what it looks like what is it drawing out something? Is it just random? And I keep getting in the way of the beam, so I can't really do anything with it. But anyway, it's just this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And so this is, when I first tried it with one, it was going a little bit, and then I added a second beam and it moved even more. And I just finished this four beam setup an hour ago, and I was shooting some footage and getting some stuff, and I was gonna move up to 8 again this next time. That's what I have planned next. He almost looks like a dog who found like their favorite stick out in the yard and is just absolutely thrilled to be talking about this with you all. It's just the coolest stuff. Like
It's quantum glass.
Where did Aram get this stuff?
It is a metamaterial. It's a metamaterial. Yeah. That's actually good. Where did he tell you he got it?
Oh, well, he said that a student came in that his neighbor wanted to his neighbor took a bad fall or something, and he pulled some glass out of the kid's arm or something. It was something like that. It was something about a kid's arm, and it was the kid was injured, but he was doing okay, I guess. I don't really remember. He kind of said it quickly.
Okay. Well, Lloyd, this is not that mysterious. It's just quantum glass. It's a metamaterial under development through our research division. The research facility out in the woods. Syntech.
Oh.
The question, however, is how did it come to be wandering around town such that a kid could cut himself on it? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Well, I mean, he gestures down to his shoes. Sometimes I drop stuff, and I've dropped an expensive lens before, and let me tell you, that was 2 months' salary for that piece of optics.
Well, I think you can probably understand.
Sometimes you just drop stuff and it breaks.
Yeah, you can probably understand that proprietary intellectual property isn't supposed to leave the research facility. So we're just a little concerned that it made its way. There's nothing particularly dangerous about it, other than it's glass, and obviously you can cut yourself on it. So when we heard that there was some unusual materials, we thought we'd check it out. And thank you very much for confirming that this is actually indeed Syntech property.
Oh, yeah. Do you mind if I keep it for another couple days? I have some more stuff that I want to try out.
How about this? I can't really let Syntech property just remain out. You never know. Someone could break in and steal it and try to reverse engineer it. But what I can do is I can set you up with a tour of our optics lab. And I can have one of our material scientists kind of explain to you the underlying theory, and potentially even some of the potential commercial applications.
Yeah, he kind of paces in place a little bit, and he goes over to. He's kind of nodding a little bit. He walks over to the like a little mini fridge that's under the desk, and he reaches down and he grabs a drink from inside, and he starts chugging it, and he shoves it. He finishes it. He shoves it into his cargo pockets, and then he looks back over and he's like, I'm afraid I'm just not gonna let you. I can't let you take it. Listen. I've got some really big...
in a negotiation. What he's offering you is out of the kindness of his heart. It's not. It's not. Really I need.
I listen. This could be my big break for my channel. I really need a lot. He takes his hand and he kind of sets it on the table that's next to him, where he's got a couple ring stands and a couple like heavier pieces of like camera stands. And it like kind of closes his hands around it. I need you all to leave. I need you all to get out of my house. I thank you for the offer, but I'm not gonna give you this in exchange for a tour. I mean, you can look at it if you want, but I need you to leave if you're like, you can't have it.
Well, I don't think
it's not yours.
Situation you're in.
Well, I mean, it's mine now. I have it.
You understand you can't stop us from taking it. Even if you were able to stop us,
That's right, SJ.
more would come.
Boom. Hit him with the facts.
And I guarantee you cannot run a YouTube channel from jail.
Give me a power roll.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I am going to, I believe I have a minor bane.
Yes. Scroll back up. There's a number of everything, actually, except for major. We are out of major banes, but we have at least one of everything else.
I got a 33.
Okay. Does that pass a -10? Like whatever your threshold is, -10.
I have a 70 for power.
Okay.
So yes, but just barely.
Yeah. He looked like he was trying to pick up the camera stand, and he puts it back down. Like like as soon as you say like you can't do this from jail, like visibly wilts, and he puts it back down.
That's right.
Okay. And he goes over to the table and he unscrews the handle from unscrews the mount from the table, and he goes over and he hands it over. He hands it to you, Nora.
I don't want to touch this crap. All right. No. I'll give it to them.
Pop it in a sample dish if you wouldn't mind.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Pop it in a sample dish if you wouldn't mind.
A sample? I mean, I've got some Tupperware.
Sure.
Yep, he goes back. He goes out of the room and down towards the kitchen.
I shout out a clean one if preferable.
Yeah, okay. I think I can do that.
I'm going to follow him. I don't want him to run away with it. I'm following him. Just so we're clear, I'm keeping him in my eyesight.
Okay.
This is all of it, correct? Because if I see a YouTube video in a couple days, it's not going to go well for you.
Give me a human check. He turns back around and looks at you.
Oh, 58. I don't. Okay, no, my human is 60. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, and you beat his roll, which was a 40. No,
Nice.
actually, his roll was a 4. Yeah, you beat it. So not that good. Almost critical failed. Yeah. You can tell that he is trying to lie, but you can tell that very easily that he's lying. Yeah, that's the only one. And he kind of edges over, and like as he's walking by, he very obviously shoves the pantry door shut with his foot as he's going towards the dishwasher to grab some Tupperware.
So probably
it's the only one.
before I went down and followed him, I probably would have let whoever's upstairs know, like, hey, just double check this place for more.
Yeah.
And then followed him down. Heard that lie. I'm just gonna open the pantry door that he just closed.
He turns around and he's got 2 different pieces of Tupperware in his hand. He's like, "Wait, no, it's in the Frosted Flakes."
Of course.
And like you open up the bottle, the box of Frosted Flakes, and there is another Tupperware container, like a little sauce dealie, that is kind of stuffed into the top there.
I'm glad it's at least in a piece of container, because this is how kids end up swallowing this crap.
I would never. No, like I have a reputation to uphold. Like, no, I would never let a kid eat glass. No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
FYI, while they're downstairs, I am 100% erasing everything I possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sort of pointed to Max going, what's this? Is this anything?
Yeah, I mean, is he using like webcams, or is he just like into a computer?
It looks like he has collected a lot of very old like Android phones, and he's using them as like webcam, like Wi-Fi webcams, and they're all kind of connected to one like central computer.
Yeah, popping off the side, ripping out the hard drive.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know computers from anybody, but I know what a hard drive is. I've seen them before.
Yeah. Harry and Barnabas, are you poking around, or are you just kind of watching as Max is taking apart the computer?
I'm just looking around. I'm not totally sure what's going on or why these lasers are doing what they are. If anything sticks out. But no, I'm sort of just trying to see if I can notice anything.
During the minor amount of chaos that Agent Ryan was ensuing on our new
I was
friend.
imposing order.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I'm upstairs.
You shut up.
During that commotion, I would have Barnabas has picked something up and put it in his pocket.
Ooh.
Just
something?
Yeah.
Just a random
narrator's discretion.
Just a random little something.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you had something specific in mind, but you didn't want to say. What you pick up from the ground is an unopened bottle of. There's 2 things on the ground. One of them is an unopened bottle of something called 5-Hour Henergy. It looks like some kind of a 5-Hour Energy knockoff. It has a cartoon, like kind of chicken on the front. And the marketing says like it gives you the energy of 100 chickens with our unique egg-based formula, and next to it is it looks like a knockoff of a knockoff. It is a small silver packet that's called what did I call it? Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. 6 Henergy Extreme. It is a very similar, obviously a knockoff cartoon chicken that is wearing a witch hat, and it looks like one of those like powdered lemonade drink mixes that you would put into a bottle. And it is crumpled up and empty.
Interesting.
Yes.
I
would take the former one and put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't drink that, Dr. Crodmeyer. And this is for Twee. It will cluck you up. It hurt me to say that, but I had to.
Yeah. Probably about the time you were picking that up and you were ripping the hard drive out of the computer, did you put the case back together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, assume it's a either a mid tower or a full tower. Just pop the side off. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that
it's
looks like
got
a hard
the-
drive. Oh, that looks like a SSD.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's actually got the like slide out racks that you
Okay.
can like easily load in a hard drive.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to take it out, and it's not immediately obvious that you have disabled his computer. So he comes back in. Well, I'll have to find something else for tomorrow's video. I mean, I think I've got some good footage already. So,
Well, and
I mean-
I'm sure we can get you an interview with one of the research scientists out at the facility.
I mean,
I mean, you can't obviously film in any of the secure sections, but I mean, it would be quite the scoop.
could
we
I
probably
could I
even
maybe
have some-
film and then have you just blur out anything that I can't go on the video or online?
Well, you have to talk about it with security, but
Well-
we might even have some leftover cameras that they
I
could loan
mean,
you.
that would actually be maybe even better than the laser video. Let me tell you, yeah, you've got a deal. And he sticks out his hand to shake your hand.
Hey, what's
COVID.
the deal with you shoving everything in your pockets? I watched you
Well-
shove a beer bottle in there earlier. It just seems like you've got a lot of.
Well, I mean, the pockets are handy. Like, pockets are a temporary trash can, and the legs, pants are just napkins you wear. So, that hurt to say.
Was that a major
it's just- he gestures over, and you can see that the trash can is overflowing. And sometimes the trash can gets a little full, and I don't want to, take it down, so I just put it in the pockets. Next time I'm downstairs, I empty them out down there. Harry and Barnabas. Actually, no, sorry, Barnabas, you picked up the trash can. Yes, it is overflowing. It is overflowing with bottles and packets of the same thing that you just picked up.
Yeah. This dude is lit. Yeah. Cool.
Lloyd, quick question: have you slept recently? Just
Oh. Nah, sometimes I get into a big run of work, and it's been a day or two. Haven't really slept, no. But I got videos to make.
Videos look better without bags under your eyes, man. You gotta, self-care.
Well, I can sleep, take a nap, and then film the talky bits later, and just do voiceover for the rest.
All right, then.
Anyway.
Thanks a lot. See you
Oh,
later.
we appreciate your cooperation.
We'll have someone give you a call.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll see y'all around. And
yeah,
he
just don't go anywhere.
I'm far too busy to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And he starts fiddling around in one of the cabinets on the other side of the room, organizing some of the stuff that's down there.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I turned to Max like, you think, do we need anything else, or do you think we're good?
I don't think I can take any more. I think we're good.
Yeah, let's get out of here before it notices.
Yeah.
Just carrying the Tupperware.
Yeah. Also, the dude was straight tweaking, but that's fine. All right. Well, good. So interesting.
So, I'm guessing, are we driving, or are we just sat in the car, or?
I'll drive you at a beer.
Good point. Where are we driving to? Where are we going next?
I'm
day is it?
gonna just kind of drive a bit because I just
drive,
don't want to
yeah.
be outside his house after.
Yeah.
I assume Max
fair.
mentioned once we got in the car, like I cleared the hard drive or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the lasers, like, what's up with the lasers?
He's apparently an amateur laser fan, I guess.
But why is this a big deal? Just the light lasers going through the glass, and it was just
Yeah,
it seemed fun.
that was not normal optical behavior. Almost certainly that was an effect of the fact that the glass is in a state of quantum flux. Are you familiar with the
That would make sense.
the
yes.
completely inept story or metaphor of Schrodinger's cat?
Mhm.
You know, you put the cat in the box, and then you put the cyanide in the box, and then you time the release of the cyanide to the decay of a hypothetical radioactive atom. There's a 50% chance that the atom decays in a given period of time, but it is uncertain whether it will or not. And then until you open the box, and by the way, Heisenberg never said this, but that's fine. Until you open the box, the cat is simultaneously alive and dead. Kind of nonsensical and certainly counterintuitive. Well, that is an allusion to an actual observable property of the universe. It is possible for things to exist in two places or multiple states at once. And that material, glass, exhibits that kind of superposition of eigenstates at a macroscopic level, which is quite interesting.
Ah, so it's like when you have a balloon and something bad happens. I got it.
Sure.
What would that mean for us then? Like,
I don't know. It's real weird. By the way, it's almost certainly not a product of Syntech or Loop. That was a lie.
Do we have any working theories yet?
Given sufficient time, even the most improbable becomes a certainty. Perhaps it just through quantum fluctuation formed in that young man's body. I mean, it's extraordinarily improbable, but not impossible. And given the near infinity of the universe and, whatever 14 billion years has been around, it's could have just happened. I don't think so, though. Seems unlikely.
So what's next? We're going to canvass his friends and family, see if there's anything weird that he's done, things he's ingested, possible drug use.
Places he's been.
Exactly. Yeah.
Places
what
he's
time
been,
of day is
Hangs
it?
out with what he does.
or places he's been, things he's ingested. Yes,
What time of day is it?
probably
It's probably
late afternoon,
around
early evening, late afternoon,
early evening.
Yeah,
It's starting to get dark.
yes, stuff happens. Case closed. That's that's
We can
the
maybe,
TLDR on my rant. It's like, maybe stuff just happens.
Do you guys want to check out the football field or anything? We can probably turn on the
Yes,
stadium lights.
we absolutely
Yes.
should. We don't need to turn on the stadium light, but we should 100% check out the precise location of this incident.
And the if we have access to the locker room, that would be beneficial, I believe.
Yes.
I think the field would be easier to get to than maybe the lockers. But I'm guessing they'd be locked up.
Might be able to convince a janitor.
Yes.
I might actually have a tool that can help us get in there.
Ooh.
I doubt.
That sounds very
It's a
shady.
small enough school that I doubt they have a camera system set up.
Yeah.
And you have quite a few boons built up.
They do have a very, very nosy math teacher, however. I suggest we stay clear of her if at all possible.
Oh, I will charm her with a mathematical riddle.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that will
start
work.
driving towards the high school.
She will feed you with hot dish until you are incapable of resisting.
Yeah, she's good at making casserole.
Yeah. So
As you pull up, as you pull up to the school, you can see the football field, the there's like the small playground for actually, is it one of those like K through 12 deals,
Yeah.
or is it like a separate? Yeah,
It's a K through
okay, you
12.
can see like the playground. There's the football field, maybe a soccer field. There is the football field is currently like the one of the main lead up areas to get, like, it doesn't have like bleachers or anything. It's got a couple of those like 3-tier dealies like that are just set up that you could fit like maybe like 10 or 15 people on. There's an area around the center of the field that is currently staked out.
All right.
Oh, and also, yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
So is there any lighting on this field, or is it pitch black?
Phone.
Yeah, the lighting is off.
Yeah, phone.
All right. Well, I've got night vision goggles, so I'll chuck them on.
Okay.
I have a flashlight.
Okay. So as you make your way over, you've got Barnabas turning on his flashlight while Harry is wearing night vision goggles.
Yeah.
So I assume that Harry,
Flash.
you are temporarily blinded.
Just slightly, yeah. Put them on and just look over and just, that's it. That literally just like that.
As you come over, or as you go over to the center of the field, you can see that there's kind of like about a 10 by 10 area that is set up, and like just kind of staking out. There is some tire tracks that are digging up the field where the ambulance came in to pick up Herman. And other than that, like, you can see that like it just kind of looks like a patch of grass.
The QVAD device is out.
Okay.
I'm scanning.
Yeah. Give me a science roll.
Specifically quantum cosmology, I assume.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me double check what my score on that is. It's not bad. Oh, that is a 28, which is a
Okay.
hard success.
Yeah. You, as you're kind of leaning over the tape, the hazard tape, and you're picking up traces of the quantum fluctuations, kind of down in the dirt.
Someone have gloves.
I'll hand him some gloves.
I have some. Mine are more for investigating, though, not medical stuff.
Yeah. Oh, this is just more I don't want to get, manicure. Digging around carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to cut myself. But
Okay.
seeing if I can localize and see if there's any substance there, or if it's just...
Yeah. As you are digging, you all hear the sound of a golf cart. As you and some headlights come out from around a corner, and you can see that there's somebody driving a golf cart quickly over towards you from the other side of the school.
Yes.
Lieutenant? Agent?
Is it a math teacher?
It is not a
Okay, good.
I'm going to go intercept them,
Okay.
let the doctors do their thing.
Is it an old lady with an AR-15 and a big knife?
No.
Good, then we're
I'm
safe.
also going to be, like, I'm walking with authority and, like, got my...
Yeah.
Okay. So, Max, you are looking around in the dirt. So as you get closer to the cart, it comes to a stop, and you see it is this this older woman who like obviously like keeps herself fit. Kind of, if you picture like gym teacher, she looks like she would be a perfect gym teacher. And she pulls up, and she has her own flashlight that she is pointing at the same time as you, like out, like along with the headlights. You're both kind of shining flashlights at each other. She's hey, the field's closed. You can't be here.
I'll flash my badge real quick. I have jurisdiction to be here. I need you to clear out.
She pulls out a walkie-talkie and yo, John, did you hear anything about the cops coming by? And she's waiting there for a response.
What are you doing here this late this evening?
I'm the trainer. I was finishing up some paperwork.
Out in the
What are
middle
you
of the
doing here?
football field?
No, it's right over there. The locker rooms and everything. They're right over there. Like, that's where my office is. I heard your car pull up, and I said, why is there a car pulling up at 7 o'clock at night to the football field when there isn't a game? And we just had a murder here. Or not a murder. When we just had a death here.
Perfect. I actually have some questions for you. Are you the trainer that was there the night of Herman Nasser's death?
I can't tell you anything about any of the students. I'm privacy laws, ma'am. You're gonna have to contact the principal.
What privacy law exactly are you talking about? Because I think you're just saying that. That's not a thing.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll that. You can tell that she's trying to bluff you. Okay, it's not a law. It's just school policy. We're not supposed to talk about any of the students. I mean, they're just kids. Like, we're not supposed to talk about the kids outside of school. So, I mean, I'm just, if you talk to my boss, talk to the principal and, get his okay, come back tomorrow and I'll talk to y'all. Otherwise, I need you all to go. I need you all to get out of here.
Well, we will be doing a full canvas. So, you will probably be chief among them. But they're just finishing up. I'm not going to pull them away from it now while they're in the middle of it. But
Agent Ryan,
once we're done.
locker.
Yes. Oh, yes, we do need access to the locker rooms while we're
tonight.
Here. No, I can't let you do that.
You can, though.
This is time sensitive. I mean,
he's not going to get any deader.
No, clearly you understand what we're here for, correct? I'm sorry, did you want us to not figure out the cause of death? Are you opposed to that in some way? I'm just confused as to why you're so hostile. Did you have something to do with it? Is that what's happening here? Is that why you're so uncooperative?
No, I just look out for the kids that are in my care and, I make sure they're not hurting themselves and make sure they're doing okay. And I'm just here to make sure that everything goes as it should be, and you all should not be here.
Except we shouldn't. We have authorization and jurisdiction here. You are a trainer for a high school, correct?
Yes.
And you're saying you have more authority than I do as a federal agent?
I mean, I work here, so yes. I mean, you don't work for the school.
I don't. I work for the you. This is a public school, correct?
Yeah, it's a public school.
Yeah, federal, that gets federal funding.
No, it's like that's a different part. Like, I can't just walk into somebody else's office here at school.
You can't. I think that's where you're confused. You can't.
Give me a charisma roll.
Oh, god damn it!
We have so many boons.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm good.
you have so many boons.
Okay, 58. I don't think that made it because my charisma is 45. Yeah, so I might.
Go ahead and re-roll that.
Okay. Okay, 38.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that does make it.
You have blinded her with science, and by science I mean logic. I mean, okay, I can't, but you can.
Yeah. And will.
But I can't. I gotta think. Okay, fine. Come on. Let's go. Get in the cart.
I mean, it's just a football field. It's like a 2-minute walk.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't leave the cart out here. I gotta take it back.
But we have to finish up here. So
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna let them finish up.
Because I was just
Okay.
chatting on my shoulder. Did I find anything obvious in the dirt?
You found the signals that you were picking up were from similar, very very small shards that were. It almost looks like they fell off into the dirt and the grass. And there's a little bit of a white powder that also fell down and is it's like they're nestled down in the roots of the grass.
Yep. Grab a little
Like
bit of that.
quarantine that.
Yeah,
Make sure nobody
grab a little of that
practices on that.
and stuff it in one of the Tupperwares or whatever. And then get up, kind of dust myself off. Yep. Agent Ryan. Mysterious white powder. Just as we expected.
Understood. Yeah, nobody is allowed to practice here. I'm gonna relay that to the trainer. This football field is not to be used until until it's completely redone.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they got to clean it up. I mean, yeah, they already canceled all the games for the rest of the season. They're not going to use the field. I mean, he was the best player on the team, so it's not like they're going to make it to the tournament without him. So
I'm just saying, PE classes, whatever else you use this football field for, it's not to be used until the soil and everything is replaced.
What about Spirit Day? I mean, we got to have the tug of war. We got to have the slimy fish toss.
You will find somewhere else to do. Do it indoors in a gymnasium.
That's gonna make such a mess. Okay, I'll figure something out.
Yes, we have to ensure the safety of the children.
The safety? Is somebody else gonna get hurt?
It's possible.
Not if you let us do our jobs.
We need to check the locker of the Herman kid for any unusual substances. I'll kind of linger on that. Like powder. It's entirely possible that your school might have a little problem, and whatever it was that your students are using was cut with something that we haven't yet been able to identify, but it might be responsible for the Herman kid's death.
That
I know it's very serious, isn't it?
I know these kids. They would never take drugs.
You wouldn't think so.
You also never know. It could even be these supplements and things kids are taking nowadays are not FDA approved.
Yep.
He could have been doing it innocently, thinking it's to improve his football performance.
I never trusted those protein shakes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, you might
literally can't trust anything. There's a huge
might want to get us a
problem
sample of
across the
anything.
nation.
Yep.
Well, okay, come on this way. She leads you around the side to kind of like the little field house area where the doors are and leads you into the locker rooms. Yeah, over there, the one second from the right, that was Herman's.
Have a master key?
None of them are locked. It's up to the students to bring their own locks for these lockers, and he didn't use one, so it's just open. You can go over if you want.
Would you mind making a list of the kids to whom he was the closest? Anyone he might have confided in if he had a problem?
Yeah, sure. I'll need to go look up some of their names. Let me go check in the office to see if I've got some rosters handy. I know them all by face, but by name, that's different. Yep. So let me go get that. And she walks out of the locker room.
I maybe give Lieutenant Primrose the eye, like.
Yep. I find it behind. Way up. I'll join you.
Let me tell this story about this time. I was 2 weeks from
turn up
retirement.
That soft charm.
So I didn't catch your name. Are you also are you also law enforcement, or are you also the police?
Oh yeah, I'm with these guys. We're just trying to investigate, just to find out what happened.
So who are you all? I mean, I saw her badge, but I couldn't see it very well.
Bigger question. How long you been working here?
Oh, 2 or 3 years. I mean,
Wow.
hopefully Yeah, hopefully longer.
Cool, let's walk and talk. Let's walk and talk.
Okay. Yeah, I've been here for a couple of years, and I,
You like your
hoping
job?
to. I like the area. They were advertising for a gym teacher position and a trainer, and so, I figure why not?
Hey, no. It's a credible job. It takes a lot of hard work, and you should be proud of what you do.
She nods a lot. Yeah, it's everybody always says you're just a gym teacher. You just, tell them to run around the track, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot more than you would think.
Agent
And
Nora definitely is like, you're just a gym teacher.
yeah, you didn't know it, but you set off her trap card, and she just talks your ear off about like how more complicated her job is than people would normally think.
Yeah. Yes.
And she just rambles on like that for like just seemingly unendingly while she is paging through. Like she has a printout with all of the students' like faces and names and stuff, and she is like stopping by some and like thinking and like him and her and yeah. Okay, and she's writing a list. Back in the locker room, what's everybody up to?
Peeking through that locker
Okay.
to see if
with my
there
gloves
are
on.
any. Yeah, to see if there are any. Looking for unusual powdery substances in any side of the glass, any empty containers. She mentioned protein shakes. We've seen evidence of powdered stuff in silver packets. Looking for anything that might connect to either of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
If
then
there's
probably-
other lockers that are unlocked as well. Yeah.
Just rifling through all
May
of
as
it.
well.
Okay. Yeah. So Barnabas, you got the gloves. You're rifling through. You are, as soon as you open the locker, you are immediately glad you have the gloves on, because like you could it's the whole locker room smells like a locker room, and you could tell this was a kid who didn't really ever wash his stuff. Just kind of like put it back wet, so it's all just kind of sweaty and crusty. You are going through the locker, and you can see in the back there is a small mountain of familiar looking bottles and packets that are in the back of the locker, kind of like shoved under a dirty gym towel.
Interesting.
Are they of the chicken nature?
They are of the chicken nature. There's
That's
more
not
of
good for
the
you. I hope he wasn't taking that before the games. Yeah, that's how you have a heart attack.
Or it's how something very unusual happens to you. May I scan that?
Yeah. All of the packets have, it doesn't, you never know what to look for at this point. All of the packets are giving off the same readings as the shards of glass were.
Interesting. Is
And
there a
the
maker's
Barnabas-
mark or manufacturer's name?
Yeah. There is the 5-hour energy, the more professional looking one, is sold by Argyros, which is let me see. Barnabas and Max, give me a what would be most appropriate? Give me an int check, just generally.
Okay.
38. Pass.
Okay.
15 pass.
Okay.
Oh,
Both of you are vaguely familiar with Argyros. They are a small startup that has a very recent startup. Their kind of deal is they make meal replacements, energy drinks. They have this app that is like a rebranded TikTok, and they are specifically headquartered in Minnesota, but you know about them because they have been throwing a lot of money around in trade journals and financial journals and outlets, and they're making a lot of waves and trying to like puff themselves up and make them seem like a much more important company than they are. You had never heard of this specific energy drink before, but you're vaguely familiar. It would be like if somebody was like, like when Soylent was first getting started or something like that, of like, oh, it's the company that's making those weird energy drinks or something like that. There is no company label on the packets of the Energy Extreme. However, there is a like on the back where there would be a company, there is just like the logo 6HH, and there is a small little diagram of Willow Bluff. And like you can see that there's a couple landmarks that are noted. Everybody give me an alertness check.
Oof.
Or a check to notice something that is related to the map, like a small detail kind of thing. So if you think that there's something more appropriate.
Intelligence?
Yeah, you could just do a regular intelligence.
I guess I could do navigate, but
yeah, you could maybe do it. Like,
I mean, my navigate's 30, so it's not really
79, pass.
Okay.
good. You do it.
Max, the landmarks there are like little like bold dots and stars in different places on the little map of Willow Bluff. They do not conform to any landmarks that you know about in Willow Bluff. Like the city layout, clearly Willow Bluff. But like it doesn't look like it's a map of Willow Bluff that you're looking at.
Yeah. It deviates from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I assume that the readings are coming from the packets, not the vials. Or is it coming from both?
Coming from both. But it's much stronger from the packets.
Interesting. Well,
Would we well, Dr. Max, you're more familiar with this town than I am.
yes.
Do you know of any convenience stores that possibly sell this?
Yes, actually, there's one right next to your bed and breakfast. Circle Q.
We may need to visit there, and if they are giving these out, give them a reading and
Buy them all, and then take a trip to wherever the headquarters of our Gyros is in the morning.
Yes.
We're going to find out what exactly it is that they're up to.
I concur.
I don't mind telling you, Dr. Crudmeyer, but I suspect industrial espionage. Sorry, industrial sabotage. I
Yes.
don't think it is by accident that some hazardous material has made its way into the hands of residents of Willow Bluff that just so happens to be the North American headquarters of Syntac.
That is very viable.
To be clear, Max doesn't know that. He's just paranoid.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Max doesn't know that, but he suspects it. Because he would.
We cut back to the office where Harry is talking to the trainer.
You mean where Harry is being talked to by the trainer?
Yeah, you're just kind of enduring the trainer.
You are experiencing Minnesota
Do I
nice.
roll for sanity?
Yes. Take 1d10 of sand.
If you want to. No, that would be like a 0-0. Like you
Right.
you wouldn't even lose sanity from failing. She is finishing up her list, and she turns and hands it to you, and she pauses, and she says, "You know, it was the weirdest thing. The EMTs said that he was dead when they picked him up. But when I went over to him, it looked like he was saying something, and his hand was moving. It was almost tapping on the ground, and I couldn't really figure out. I couldn't hear what he was saying. It sounded like Ram or more or something like that. I don't know.
More.
Yeah.
And you're saying his hand was tapping as well.
Yeah, his hand was tapping, and his eyes were closed.
In a rhythmic fashion, or just
Yeah, like not like it was an unconscious thing, but like he was trying to do it. It was the strangest thing. Do you know what happened to him?
we're just trying to find out all avenues, sort of try to get all information we can, and hopefully figure it out. What was this tapping like? Can you demonstrate it? Just rhythm?
Yeah, she kind of does it on the desk, and it's like a 3 rapid beats, and then a pause, and then just that over and over, just like that.
Just like that. Okay. Sure, it means nothing. I'm sure, you know, but yeah, thank you for this. This helps a lot. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, like what your greatest achievement was as a gym teacher.
Oh. Well,
Taking one for the team.
We had this kid come through, and you know, I'm also the the cross country coach, and I would say I recognized this one kid would be a great runner, and I said, "Kid, you should probably try out for the cross country team." And that was last year, and you know, they're still training, they're not at their peak yet. I think that's going to be it. Is I recognize the potential in that kid, and that's my job, is to recognize the potential and help bring it out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
You inspire lives.
Okay. Well, I need to head home soon, so you know, hopefully y'all got what you need. So let's head back to the locker room. And yeah.
Coach,
yeah,
we're gonna need you to keep an eye out for any of this. Confiscate.
Oh, that stuff.
Yep. Confiscate.
I tried a little bit of that, and it was just absolutely, well, not the pack. I tried the drink. It was they were selling it on sale.
Where?
But there's a convenience store down the road.
Circle Q.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to need you to keep an eye out for any students using this. It is potentially contaminated with a hazardous material. It might be related to the unfortunate young man's death. So we're going to need you to confiscate any that you find. Handle it carefully. Keep it in a secure location. And we'll drop by and pick up any that you confiscate. See to it that it's conveyed to a secure location. And studied.
I'll put some posters up.
Yes. Good. That's a good call.
Okay. She escorts you out. And then would you all go back to the same, like, a central location? Because you all were sleeping in, you all have different accommodations.
Well, they're sleeping at the inn.
Yeah.
And I've got a corporate apartment. I mean, it's a tiny town. It's not that far away. But we could start. There's certainly. I mean, it's a bed and breakfast. There's a living room and stuff like that.
I assume we're dropping off Max at the diner so we can grab that car.
Oh yeah, that's like a block away from. Everything here is very close. So I'll go back with you to the inn, and then we probably should strategize for tomorrow, and then I'll head over to St. Mary's, pick up the car, and drive back to my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Max, did you want to go to the convenience store and
analyze
the stuff there first?
Yep.
Yes.
Or more important. Yeah. And I think agent and lieutenant, we could probably use her help in case they give us any lip, but we're going to need all of their current stock and everything out of their storeroom, and to find any information about from whom they buy it, who the wholesaler is, when they expect their next shipment, etc. I am relatively certain that this material is closely tied to the unfortunate events that led to that boy's death.
Understood.
And of course, if as long as our lovely agent and lieutenant uphold and do not threaten the clerk here too badly, I will pay for all of their snacks that they may need to acquire here at the convenience store. The ones that are not contaminated, obviously.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll scan them.
Yep.
Where are we right now?
Definitely no promises on the not threatening.
So you're probably all in the cars heading back towards the diner to pick up the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we're on journey on the route wherever we're going, I share the news about that, like, they said that on scene that he was dead, yet from what the gym teacher says, he was making some sort of noise. I believe it was like rhyme or more, and like tapping in like a rhythmic fashion, like tap 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 pause, tap 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 pause with their hand. But they were pronounced dead on scene.
Well, I doubt the kid knows Morse code. If he did, I think that's just S over and over.
Yeah.
But that still seems weird. Like,
it is weird.
Like EMT said they were dead on scene, apparently according to the gym teacher, yet they were mouthing something like rum or more, but they weren't quite sure.
Interesting.
I mean, it's possible that he was alive when the trainer got there, but as soon as EMS got there, he succumbed to the injury. But
Yep.
Possibly.
And clearly he had
to sort of
foreign objects
Harry,
in
give
his
me an
brain.
occult check.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And anyone else who wants to.
Yes,
but I imagine
would love to make an occult check.
I got 10.
I will make
not doing
occult
that.
checks all day long.
40.
Okay.
My occult is it is 30, so plus 10 or 10 over.
Okay.
Okay, 28
If
out
you
of
want
80.
to use any of your boons, you can make that pretty easily.
I would love to. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone
That
else?
is
I got a 28 on
the
80.
roll, or is that
So,
that just
hard
safe?
success.
Okay.
Cool.
Barnabas and Nora, did you try to remember or know anything about that?
Nope. I have 10 in occult, and I'm not even gonna try it. I'm gonna leave
Same
it to
thing.
Okay.
I'm smart.
Don't blame you. That is the smart choice. You should not be
Yeah.
excited to make an occult check unless you're me.
There is I would imagine that since you both have like Max more than Harry, but you both have a more than typical interest and knowledge of the occult. Both of you, like as Harry is talking about, like, yeah, he was tapping and he was saying Rom or more.
He was saying more and
So-
more backward.
Sorry.
Was he saying more and then more backward?
It was. I mean, that it could have been. It could have been. There are two things. Harry, something you suddenly, as you're like acting out and describing to Nora the hand movement, you remember that the specific pattern that he's making, it's not a specific pattern, it's a general pattern, but in terms of like, there are certain old cults and rituals that would sometimes involve repeated, like very long time repeated motions, and because of those they would sometimes keep because you would be doing it for hours on end, you would keep it very simple so that it was very easy to follow and repeat and say. So like simple words, simple phrases, simple movements, the kind of ritual that you would do for hours to the point where it would become second nature. You wouldn't even have to think about doing it. Max, when Harry mentions the name Rom, it's kind of one of those like mind palace moments where you're remembering like all of the different like is something about it trips something in the back of your head, and you're starting to think about like different cults that used to exist. And you're thinking, you remember that there used to be a cult of Rom. You don't remember exactly like all of the details of it, but you remember that like that it existed, that there was some longer name of their object of worship, but everyone who knows about it in the research field would just call it the cult of Rom. And you remember that the members of the cult of Rom, all that's really known about them is from rumors and like vague insinuations in other people's accounts. But the general understanding of historians is that they had very peculiar beliefs and habits around mirrors.
Yes.
Class.
They almost certainly believed in the mirror world, right? Their aim was likely to communicate with their deity or patron that they believed resided in the mirror world, and probably went to some unusual lengths to try to cross over or bring him from the other side. That would explain why I'm interested in it, or why I would have read about it.
And why you were called here. So we can probably, if it's all right with you all, wrap it up there. We've reached a point where you found out who died, what he died of. You found out some of the key players involved and some of the people who have come into contact with the weird things that have happened. You've got some more information to follow up on. You've got some leads. You've got lots of questions. So I would imagine that you all put your heads together, Max and Harry. You probably have a couple minutes of like trading back and forth, like interest and talking about like what you remember about the two different like areas two different strains of thought that you're thinking about with this occult knowledge. And you all break up, and it's time to take a rest and head out and prepare for the day tomorrow, now that you have some more leads to go on. So
and we buy out all the 5-hour energy from Circle Q. Now we have a trunk full of this really problematic substance.
It is the most dangerous and yet most protein and caffeine filled trunk in the city.
I suggest that we
snacks.
we're gonna take one of our cars, or this is my suggestion. We load up all of that stuff in the trunk of one of our cars, and we drive it over to the far side of town across the lake and park it in one of the abandoned cabins.
Yes, we do that with Max's car.
Because
For a second, I thought you were about to say dump it into the lake, and I'm like, dump it in the water.
We give it away to all the kids in the street.
Put it into the water supply, yeah.
No,
they're all dead. They're all guilty.
No, we just want to make sure. I'm not comfortable with this growing concentration of this problematic material being anywhere near me or other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. And I'm sleeping with the lights on just because I like to see stuff, not because I'm spooked out.
That's fine. There's mirrors everywhere.
Yeah.
Cover all the mirrors.
The final shot is the moon is rising over the horizon, and you all, as you look over at the moon, there is a strange, almost double glint to the light coming off of the moon.
Yep.
Ooh. And I think we can call it there.
Awesome.
Nice.
Interesting.
Cool. Well, thank you all in chat for sticking with us and listening to this game of spooky happenings and death and obsession. And thank you all players for playing and doing an awesome, amazing job. We can probably do that thing that we all do every time. So should we go clockwise?
Yeah, on screen clockwise. I'll wrap up and do some call outs for the stuff that's coming up next.
So, my name is Chev. I have been the game runner, the handler for today. Usually, you can find me in people's chats. I also stream twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays, playing Mahjong, which is a tile/card game. And, if you are looking for a chill time, a chill stream with some music and some card games and some cat cam, and, stop on by and hang out. We would love to have you. Next, let's, Warwick.
I'm Warwick, Warwick Zero on Twitch. I stream mainly Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And on my days off from stream, I'm either working or doing stuff like this. And this was a lot of fun.
I am the Backwin. I stream sometimes. But the only stream I really have of my own this week is tomorrow night. Other than that, I'll be on C+ again on Thursday and on Sunday. Doing a bunch of different things. I don't remember what. Think this again.
Cool. I am SJ_sidekick. I don't stream, but you can usually find me here. I'm in this, and then upcoming Twin Falls and Spectrum Squad.
Yep. Yes. And I am Zero Daylight. You can find me at that Zero Daylight on the Twitter. You can also find me here a couple times a week, either playing or sometimes running or sometimes getting to play, like tonight. TTRPGs, and then on Sundays over at the Juices TV program and Licity channel, where we will be on this Sunday doing the first of a planned 2 sessions of Storyville PD, where all the players are fairy tale characters who are also hard-bitten cops and detectives. So it's film noir meets Disney. Coming up on Thursday, you will see me and Batman again for the Elwood Expedition, which is an Alas for the Awful Sea powered by the Apocalypse, also somewhat spooky. We've got then coming up later in the month on the 20th, we are picking up Teen Justice Academy again. And we will have the conclusion of Dastardly Deeds at Ditchwater Gulch, our D&D a Weird West inspired limited series on the 24th. And then on the 2nd of March, we will have a one-shot of Paranoia, which we are calling BFF Computer. And I think I already let the cat out of the bag. On the 22nd of this month, we will be doing a one-shot of The Real Thing, which is a powered by the Apocalypse Faith No More RPG. And one of the creators of that RPG will be here to join us. And their Kickstarter goes live like very soon. I think it's next week. We'll update everyone in chat and on Discord when that goes live. And then we starting to put Spectrum Squad is coming back next month, as is Star Trek. So we have a lot of irons in the fire. So come hang out with us here again. Go check us out at cpluscontent.tv, which is our YouTube channel. That's where all of our stuff that we broadcast here live goes up about 24 hours later. And you can connect with us at community.cpluscontent.tv. That's our Discord channel. That's got like the schedule and announcements and the conversation about like fun games and you name it. So it's a great place to hang out. There's a lot of folks that you will recognize there. So come and see us. I think we should probably rate someone, but I don't have a strong opinion about who. Anyone have any thoughts or ideas or suggestions?
Zam.
Is Zam live?
Yes.
Oh,
My
cool.
screen is.
Oh, and Zam is
He's
crafting. Crochet. Is he still working on that doll? Wow. Or is it a new doll? I hope it's a new doll because that's been a long time. Anyways, let's go hang out with Zam. Zam is a good friend of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I typed it right this time. I did. Cool. Well, awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Chev, for running. This is awesome. Thanks, Warwick, for being here. This is our first time to play together. It was great fun.
I'm happy to.
Thanks, Batty. Thanks, SJ. Thanks, everyone in chat. Thanks, Tough, for the raid. And we will see you all again here very, very soon. Awesome. Bye, everybody.
See y'all.